Hello, football fans, and welcome inside Starlight Stadium for today's Week 8 BCFC matchup between the Vancouver Island Raiders and the Westshore Rebels. Alongside BC Football Hall of Famer Paul Short, I'm Tyler Bennett. Thank you for joining us. And Paul, about the Westshore Rebels, 54-21 win last week, and against the Raiders this week, what do you think they need to work on that maybe weren't so sharp last week?
Well, it's the game that they can sort of work on things that need working on. You know, you get an opportunity to play some extra players that won't see the field as much as they normally would. It's one to stay on the course. If they stay the course, do what they do best, then obviously they're going to win this football game.
And for the Vancouver Island Raiders, 0-6 this year, not a lot of moral victories to speak of. So how do you get the troops kind of pumped up and rallied and ready to go here in week 8?
Oh, it's a game between the Rebels and the Raiders, and it gets everybody pumped up. I think at the end of the day, the Raiders are on a 14-game losing streak, so their best bet is just to come out and play some solid, basic football, get the kids feeling good about themselves, because they're going to be difficult to win here tonight. And it's one of those ones you got to rebuild upon and then learn from it next week and start another game.
It's the Raiders and the Rebels, and it's coming up next. And we are just getting underway here at Starlight Stadium as we are doing the captain's handshake / coin toss here at center field. And some of the alumni, or graduating players rather, were just honored before kickoff here. Some of the big names that we saw in their final year here. Cairo Barry, who's been the leading touchdown receiver in the BCFC this season. Josh Hoyt on defense has been huge. And, you know, that's just kind of the life of junior football, right? You know, some players leave and other players fill the shoes. But, I mean, for Cairo Barry, just in terms of this year, it's been pretty spectacular what he's been able to do on the football field.
Oh, it's been tremendous. He's been a team leader in all phases of the game, really. You know, leading to the BCFC in touchdowns. He's the leading punt returner in the BCFC, and he's just a team leader. His energy and what he brings to the football field is second to none. And the Rebels, it's hard to replace. When you like you said, when you play junior football, every player that enters has an expiry date. And you have to try to encourage and to build that bottom end to make sure that these really good graduating players are replaced the next season. So you just continue. And that's where you see some of this drop-off year to year with a lot of the teams, is that bottom isn't as strong as what was leaving, obviously, and it takes time, so they drop off, you back up. And it's a roller coaster ride for any sport that has an expiry date.
So the Rebels coming into their huddle here. We're into the final moments before we get to kickoff here, as both teams getting fired up before the opening kickoff. And you know what? Put the standings aside, put the teams aside. It's still an island rivalry. And any time that the Raiders and Rebels get together, you're sure for a little bit of sparks.
Oh, no kidding. This is ever since 2005, this has been going on. And it's one of those things that, you know, when the franchise in Nanaimo was granted by the league back in 2004, there wasn't a lot of love between them. Everybody supported each other, but with a lot of the players going to Nanaimo from the Rebels, the perceptions out there were not correct, but it generated this rivalry is healthy for the league, but sometimes, you know, because of the large scores in the past, it hasn't been. But I think these two teams here are starting to realize, if they already haven't realized, how important they are to the growth of minor football on Vancouver Island. And as they slowly get together and understand that, and they get the people involved that want to run with it, you're going to see Vancouver Island, in my opinion, dominating BC football for a long time to come.
So here we go, the VI Raiders in their white road unis going from left to right, the Rebels and their home Reds going right to left and receiving this kickoff. And we are underway here at Starlight Stadium as this kick is deep into the back. It's going to be Malik Gagne-Smith taking it at his own 20-yard line. He's going to look right up the middle. He's got some blockers, and he stumbles over his own players. He's going to be down at about the 45-yard line as Malik Gagne-Smith with a good run, and out comes this electric Rebels offense.
Yeah, that was a good return, and it just sets up, again, Rebels all season long thus far have been able to get the ball out close to their own 50-yard line on every kick return. And it shortens the field. It gives you a good starting point. And the the high-powered offense of the Westshore Rebels, who lead in passing yards as well as rushing yards, playing against a team that has given up the most rushing yards and passing yards in the league.
So here we go. T. Jesse out under center here, takes the first snap. He's going to throw it out to the right to Garen Hardesty, looking for a little bit of help out to the right. He's going to get maybe a few yards, but not much, as Garen Hardesty, the Week 7 BCFC Offensive Player of the Week. He had 15 touches, 154 yards, 2 touchdowns, and again leads the BCFC in pretty much every category there is in rushing.
Oh, he's phenomenal. He's built low to the ground. He's got powerful legs. He got bigger from last year, and I think we're obviously, in my opinion, where he excels is with his eyes. He can see the field clearly and knows where to run.
So here we go, second down as Jesse throws in the middle. That's going to be caught by Kwame Franklin, and he is going to have the first down, as Kwame Franklin with his first reception of the day is a good one, and that'll move the chains. It's a first down.
Yeah, just a simple route, turn it up, run down 12, 15 yards, get the turnaround inside slot, throw the ball wide open. First down. You don't have to pick up what you can after the catch. You see on the replay here, he just sits down and catches the ball.
Sorry, that is Pharrell Yakin Kenfak making his first catch of the day, so that's going to move the chains. And Jesse, quick offense here as he's going to hand off to Hardesty. Once again, going out to the right. He's going to look to make a pass to blocker, but a good job by the Raiders. And there's a fumble, and the Raiders are going to recover. What a turn of events as the VI Raiders cause a fumble. Garen Hardesty can't hold on to it, and there is flags on the field here, so we'll have to wait and see the final word, but great job there. That was Marcus Harvey making the first tackle, and eventually the Raiders get the turnover on downs.
Yeah, that was a good play by Harvey. He stayed with him, almost didn't make the tackle, but he was in position just getting up off the ground when the ball popped right in front of him. Easy recovery, and the Rebels also took an unnecessary roughness penalty on that moved the ball ahead 15 yards. So Raiders have a good starting point here at the Rebels 40.
Cole Dumont forcing the fumble. He rips it out of Garen Hardesty's hands, and this isn't what we had on the script. The Raiders pressing early, and look out. Here come VI as under center. That's Ben Chomalak. He's going to take it on first down. He's got some receivers in motion. Fakes the handoff, rolls out. He's got pressure coming. He's going to have to duck it off. A smart play there as Nehemiah Ford Bowen was coming right up the middle for him, and it will be second down and 10.
Yeah, they got it in the backfield pretty quick, so he didn't have a lot of time to set his feet. He just had to throw that one away. Talking about Cole Dumont, who caused that fumble. His father played for me when here in Victoria with Payless, so his dad played for the Rebels, and his son's playing for the Raiders.
And this offense of the Raiders, as the lights come on here at Starlight Stadium. Ben Chomalak under center likes to run just about as much as he likes to pass. He's leading the team in rushing yards and passing yards as he's going to throw it out to the right here. That's going to be caught. That's Harmon Ahuja, and he's going to be hit by a few Rebels looking to maybe strip the ball out, but good job there by Ahuja to hold on to that one, and that is going to be about 7 yards for second down and third. Sorry, third down. Is that third down already?
Yeah, third down is really short. It looks like, well, they're going to stay on the field, obviously. It's less than a yard. Yeah, last week, Ben was 24 of 40 against the Okanagan Sun and 3 touchdowns, 75% completion percentage. That's the second time he's done that in his career.
And Chomalak under center here. Got some receivers in motion here for this third and short. They're going to toss it out to the left, and the Rebels are going to get there as DeMar Hohenstein. We say his name all the time. He was the Defensive Player of the Week last week. He makes a big stop here on third down, and the Rebels get a second chance on offense.
Well, the speed of the Rebels' defense on that play as the ball was pitched out, they just beat the running back to the point of attack, and there was nowhere to go, and they turnover on downs and a 3-yard loss. Tremendous defensive play.
And when we talk about Ben Chomalak as he exits the field here, kind of the new age of quarterback is that, you have to guard, obviously, the pass, but a quarterback who can run, that seems in the last maybe 10, 15 years has been something that lots of teams really covet.
Absolutely. And it's similar like what, before he got hurt last week, Tyran Duval with the nice pass.
As that is C.J. Vincent. He is wide open, and he's got a straight lane to the house. Will he get there? Yes, he will. C.J. Vincent with the touchdown. T. Jesse needs one pass, and the Rebels take a 6-0 lead.
76-yard pass on the first possession following the turnover on downs, and It's a little statement saying, okay, we're here. His 26th touchdown pass of the season. That's just fantastic. In their seventh game.
CJ Vincent, one of those graduating players, makes an impact here as he gets the Rebels offense going here. And we'll just wait for this extra point as Marcus Jones sets up. And the kick is up, and it is through. So make it 7-0 Rebels as they take an early lead here. And, you know, we talked about what do the Rebels need to work on this week after last week, a 54-point win. But very stagnant in the third quarter. They kind of hit a wall, and it took them a long time to get out of that. I think consistency might be what is needed here for this Westshore offense this week.
Oh, absolutely. And you've got to get to the point now where you're getting near the end of the season, so you got to be playing some pretty good football. But you also have to be able to hang your hat on one phase of the game, passing or running, that you know you're going to have some success with. And Rebels have pretty well been balanced all year, but their passing game seems to be a touch stronger because Jesse's such a good passer. And I think that's what you'll see tonight is I think you'll see them working on some areas that they haven't had an opportunity to work on, and especially with a couple of receivers down, Zion Brown being out of this game with the knee injury, that you're going to get the young guys in there to get a chance to, you know, be tested under fire against real opposition.
So Rogan Bonsu gets the ball, and he is immediately met there as a good job by the Rebels special team unit. That's pretty much no yards gained there, and the Raiders are going to have to take over in their own territory just past the 25-yard line.
A little surprised that he let the ball bounce, and once he let it bounce in the ground, the cover team of the Rebels was able to get on top of him with no gain.
Ruben Bonsu with the return, not very many yards, and back out comes Ben Chomalak in this Raiders offense, who had something going off the turnover on downs, got one first down, I believe, but were unfortunately unable to get a third and short conversion. So here they are, back out on the field, down 7-0 as Chomalak out to the right. That is complete, and he is going to be hit hard out of bounds, as that was number 83 for the Raiders, Ruben Bonsu, who just returned that kick, getting the reception, and also on the tackle, that was Murdy Kasongo. So call it second down and maybe 5.
Yeah, just a quick little pass and just an out, and he picked up enough for about 14 yards on that. You know, and that's what Chomalak does. He's got a great arm, and he sees the field quite well, similar to what Jesse, and they just have to have a little bit more consistency and some success throwing the football consistently. And that's an example of that, where they just didn't get a chance when Harmon Ahuja just had no, I guess he was looking upfield. He could feel some, footprints coming pretty quickly on him and couldn't hang on to that pass.
So second down and 10 now, as the ball will be spotted down. And Chomalak, his receiving core, it's really a group effort. There's no one really on this team who leads big time in yards and receptions. It's very much a joint effort on this offensive core as Chomalak calls the orders, receivers in motion, takes the snap, looks to his left. It's going to be a throw, and it is going to be dropped, as that's once again Ruben Bonsu, who can't hold on to it, and it's going to be third down, and out comes the punt unit.
Yeah, I think Bonsu felt Hoinstein coming down pretty quick there and took a peek at him, and you can see on the replay that he just took a look, and Hoinstein's right there, and it's in and out of his hands. But going back to Chomalak, he's the leading rusher on the team as well, just by a couple yards. But so he's doing it all this year for the Raiders team. As this young team, the youngest team definitely in BC and maybe in the CJFL. So there's going to take some time to gel, take some time to get the guys understanding the speed and the accuracy of the junior game.
So here comes Cairo Berry way down the right sideline, getting some blocks. There's a flag down against the Rebels way back as a face mask was called. So this one's going to go back as flags are just flying all over the place. And it looks like we have a bunch of flags against the Rebels. So this play is going to go way backwards from where Cairo Berry was tackled after a great return, but it's going to be all for naught. So
yeah, it was. I'm not sure what back here where he basically caught the ball. And then it might be a legal block on the second one up where he was tackled.
So the referee's going to take this ball way back as, again, I believe both penalties are against Westshore, so they're going to be hold back way deeper than they go as holding is called on Westshore. And that's going to go back.
That up. That's what Barry's been doing all year. Just he's been making plays with his feet. He's such a tremendous punt returner. The best in the league at this point.
So T. Jesse back out onto the field here for the Rebels. Successful, only needed one pass to get into the end zone last drive. Let's see what they have in store this time around. Still pretty early in this ball game. We're only about 5 minutes into the first quarter here. Rebels up 7-0. Thank you for joining us either on Telus Optic channel 1981 or on BCFC TV. As Jesse takes the first snap, it's going to be a handoff. That's going to be Hardesty. Had a fumble last time he touched the ball, and look out as he just ran himself into the ground there. Wheels turning a little too quick, but still enough for a first down. So Garrett Hardesty, gain of 11, and that'll move the chains.
Yeah, just as he was just going to make a cut to his right, a sniper got him and put him down the ground. But again, you watch Hardesty run, and it's all just about balance. It's all about his eyes. He sees the field so well. Yeah, you can see here, just as he tries to make a cut, his feet slip out from underneath him. If he was able to make that cut, he would have, I don't know if he'd still be going, but he probably would have picked up another 10 or 12 yards.
So chains have moved. It's 1st and 10 near midfield. Jesse got receivers in motion, and look out. That looked like something at the offensive or defensive line here. We'll wait and see as flags flew right at the snap.
You know, it looked like the Raiders jumped, but that they have the opportunity to get back, and the Rebels reacted to them being offside, so they were kind of protecting themselves.
And it is against the Raiders, so that's a 5-yard penalty, making it a 1st and 5 situation. And this is the first game we've done this year, Paul, in under the lights at nighttime. 7 p.m. start. Every other game has been at 4 o'clock with the ferries, obviously, and it's pretty brisk. The wind has come in a little bit here. It's a lot colder. It's not what we've been used to yet at Starlight Stadium.
Oh, it's funny because I thought, should I wear pants tonight? And I thought, no, we live in Victoria. We're in the tropics here, and I'm freezing.
So here we go, 1st and 5. Jesse fumbles the ball a little bit as he takes the snap, but he's going to get a throw off.
Nice
That's going to be
pass.
caught, as that is C.J. Vincent again. He's had a monster start to this game, a gain of 15 or so, and that's going to move the change another Rebels first down.
That was a dart. He put that ball in the line, and Vincent caught it in his hands, which is what you want receivers to do. And he didn't try to catch it with the body, and he made a great, just a secure catch for the first down. But you can see the replay, just a dart. He threw it, all his motion went into that pass and got it there in a hurry.
So once again, 1st and 10 here. Rebels marching down the field here. Raiders looking for an answer as Jesse takes the snap, throwing deep. He's got a receiver wide open, and that is caught. And looking for the end zone now, and he will get there. Touchdown, Rebels. What a play there by Tristan Ramus Arevalo. And the Rebels take a 2-score lead, and we're still early in the first quarter.
Again, just everybody seeing the field on the Rebels so far this evening when it comes to the passing game. And Jesse just put it up here. He just sees, okay, you run underneath it, go get it. And again, a receiver wide open as Vincent was on his touchdown. And that's just, the youth of the Raiders, not having the ability at this point in their career on picking these guys up, and the Rebels are taking advantage of that.
Extra point is up, and it is through. So make it 14-0 Rebels here, who after a bit of a disappointing first drive have come back, and on their last 2 have scored touchdowns in pretty quick fashion. As T. Jesse already up to 2 touchdown passes on the day, you have to wonder how many he might get today, depending on how long he stays into the ball game. But a good response after a tough first drive here for the Rebels.
Oh, absolutely. I think on the fumble, it kind of wakes you up, because you come into this game, and I'm pretty sure they were probably talking, like, just don't look past them, don't get complacent. But players are thinking, hey, this should be an easy win. We're 6-0. They're 0-6. Last time we beat them was 69-0. And so you get the jitters that are there for a normal game might not be there tonight. So you get a little laid back. And I think that fumble probably really woke them up a bit.
Luciano Coombs kicks this one, and it is going to be returned here by the Raiders, who have a good run up the middle. And down at the 35-yard line, that is A.J. Carr. And the Raiders going to take over after a good return there.
Yeah, A.J. can play. He's one of the top kick returners in the league. He'll make things happen.
So back comes Ben Chamalak in this Raiders offense, who haven't really found any success so far against this Rebels defense, who have really brought on the pressure both in the pocket and at the receivers, and lots of drop passes and pressure. So let's see if they can figure it out here as Chamalak under center. And look out, as it looks like someone jumped the line there. And it looks like this is going to be against the Raiders, but we'll wait and see for the official's final word.
Yeah, I thought number 14 on the, or 44, I think 14, sorry, on the Rebels jumped offside, but they did call it against the Raiders.
So not a great start for this drive for the Raiders, as on the first play they're going to be backed up another 5 yards. So they're going to be down to their 30-yard line. And we'll do this all over again.
And those are the things that, excuse me, as you're trying to, I don't know, say turn your season around, but to build on some of the positives, to have a penalty just to back you up and put you in a hole.
So Chamalak now looking at a 1st and 15, going to take the snap, going to throw deep to the sideline, but that is going to be out of reach, as that was Miguel Dominguez, the intended receiver, and that's going to be now 2nd and long.
Yeah, again, just a hurried pass. He tried to get it out fast, but he didn't have his feet set, and the ball sailed on him a little bit.
So the Raiders looking for a big play here. They're going to need to probably throw it in the air, you'd have to think, unless Chamalak's got a big run ahead of him. As it's 2nd and 15.
Well, he hasn't targeted Paul Romanoff yet, and that's who he threw 3 touchdowns to last week, and number 3 with the Raiders.
So Chamalak, here comes the pressure, Cody McMahon, and he is going to get there and bring him down as 3 Rebels eventually get in there, but Chamalak can't get away from the pressure, and that's going to be 3rd and long, and out come the punt unit.
Oh, they got after him real quick, and the Rebels defensive front, they come in a hurry and they come angry, and that's what they did on this play here, and Ben had 0 chance to even set his feet to take a look, and they're on top of him right away.
That was Praise Odegun and Nehemiah Ford Bowen also getting in there. Cody McMahon, the first man to get there, and he had some help from his teammates, as the Raiders once again not able to get a first down. And look out, here's a deep snap, and this could end up being a safety, and I believe it will. So tack on 2 more points as the Rebels make it 16-0, and they're going to have to kick the ball back to Westshore as well. So a tough snap and 2 extra points on the board here, and just looking for any positives here for the Raiders here, as they haven't, after that forced fumble early on, haven't really had much success.
No, they definitely have been struggling. Yeah, it's one of those ones, and again, I was talking about how the Rebels can't look past this game. The Raiders, it's the same thing. They come down going, oh God, we're playing the number 1 team in the country, as well as, last time they beat us up in our gym, but 69-0. So your nerves are going something, and on those last couple plays, when you're getting beat that quick, I think, your center might be a little bit, want to get that ball back first. And unfortunately, he just put too much air underneath it over his head.
So the Rebels opting to take over, skipping the kickoff, and they'll take over at their own 35-yard line as Jesse fakes the handoff, throws out to the left, and that is Kieran Poisson. He's going to break out to the sideline. He's got some room to work with, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, as Jacob Gilman getting Poisson out of bounds. Looked like a little bit of lack of communication there between Remus Aravallo and Poisson, but luckily enough for a first down, as Kieran Poisson does it himself.
Oh, he just came out of nowhere and he grabbed the ball. I was looking at the other receiver getting it, but Poisson just grabbed it as it was coming to the other receiver, and he picks up 23 yards, but he, obviously the number 1 receiver in the BCFC is going to make something happen.
And rumors are just rumors, but we've heard that BC Lions are interested in Kieran Poisson, as Garen Hardesty right up the middle, and that's going to be a gain of about 8 or 9, as Garen Hardesty with a good hard run up the middle, gain of 9. And I know it's just speculating at this point, Paul, but if Kieran Poisson, as it's expected, he'll probably be involved in some way with the BC Lions next year. How big is that for this Rebels program?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. And they were really impressed with T. Jesse too, when they took him to camp here, and him and Kieran, and excuse me, talking to the Lions, they're quite high on Kieran. Young Canadian receiver, he's got speed, and there's so much he can do with the game that they can develop that and work with him. So hopefully he gets an opportunity to sign a contract at the end of this year for next year, and is able to work in to make the team.
So here's Jesse throwing out to the left, and that is going to be caught. That's CJ Vincent as he brings it in. That's about a gain of 7, maybe 8 for second down. And Kieran Bassant, number 8 on the field here for the Rebels, been spectacular this season. And you got to think he's going to be a main part of this offense going into a hopefully deep playoff run for this Rebels team and then next year beyond. But just a great pillar to put for this program to put their hats on in terms of player development.
Oh, absolutely. And it's one of these things that the Rebels are so deep in a lot of areas that it doesn't matter who you put on the field, they're going to play for you, and that's a tribute to what the coaches are doing and what they're teaching these young men. But this game tonight, so far, he's like a surgeon. He's dissecting the Raiders' defensive backfield, and I don't think he's had an incomplete pass yet. And we're almost, we're 4 minutes left in the first quarter, and that's amazing. He's had a really good start to this game.
And for the Raiders, sticking on the CFL topic, they have Andrew Harris coming into the program next year, which I think is just a much-needed breath of fresh air. What do you think that will impact in terms of the Raider program, in terms of recruiting, but also just development and getting this team back on the winning side of things?
Well, I think I don't think they've lost their luster as the Raiders in Nanaimo, but a lot of times when you win too much, people they lose interest in supporting you because they know you're going to win. And I think what Andrew will do will bring that enthusiasm back to get the people involved. From a sponsorship side, I think people want to be around ex-professionals and different things like that. And recruiting wise, his name alone will bring some players in. But the key to both these teams is to make sure that they can recruit outside the province or outside of the island, but within the island, huge, because along with getting local kids, you bring the local money in, you bring the parents in, you bring their friends in, and they're all paying customers that help support junior football.
So Kieran Bassant with the last reception makes it first down as Jesse looking for the end zone, and it is going to be caught, but not quite to the end zone as CJ Vincent he's trying to get there himself, but he's not, as he was tackled just short. So that's going to be a first and goal as CJ Vincent with his third big reception already in this first quarter. And they have just been marching down the field here. So great job there by CJ Vincent to hold on to a bobbling football as he caught it. Going to be first and goal. We'll wait and see what happens.
Yeah, again, that's just a dart. You can see if there's a replay, here it comes up. You can see Jesse's looking. He sees him, and he puts it on a line. And Vincent's right there, catches the football. And CJ's just angry that he couldn't break those tackles to get in the end zone.
Still fired up, though, so it's a first and goal, only about 1.5 yards to go here as Jesse, could he take it himself? We'll wait and see. He's going to back up and look for a throw. To the outside, it is going to be caught. Cairo Berry with his league-leading 11th touchdown of the year is going to extend this Rebels lead to 3 scores as Cairo Berry, one of the granted out-of-program players before the game, gets in a touchdown as well, and it's a 3-score Rebels lead.
Yeah, it seemed too easy. I think that's a very easy pass to make on that one. I was just run a quick out, get over the goal line and catch the ball, and we know that Barry can catch the football, so easy to do. You can see in the replay, it's just up and into his hands, 2 steps out of bounds, touchdown.
Extra point is up, and it is good. So that's make it a 23-0 lead as the safety makes it a 3+ score game here. And Jesse, that's 3 touchdown passes on the day. And now it's kind of just a matter of how long they'll let Jesse play. I think this is one of those games where the Rebels will really want to get all of their players into it eventually. But wow, what a start here from Jesse in the offense.
Oh, absolutely. And again, it shows the dominance where the program's at right now, and where the Raiders, building a young team, they're building for next year and years to follow. But at this point, years ago when they joined the league, it was 23 games in a row that the Raiders beat up on the Rebels, and some of them were really tough beat up games, and the Rebels have won the last 3, I believe it is, and so they got to feel good about that. But both programs are working hard to make things happen. But at this juncture where their programs are at, the Rebels are in first place 6-0, and the Raiders are 0-6.
So now the Raiders taking this kickoff and getting some pretty good yardage there. That was Jacob Gilman. And he'll get himself just shy of the 30-yard line, and back out comes Ben Chamalak in this Raiders offense, who's still looking for their first down of this football game. Haven't really found any success both on the ground. I don't even know if we've seen them run the ball yet. It's been a lot of throws, a lot of screen passes that just haven't really gotten anywhere.
Yeah, they had that one run where they got stopped on the third down gamble, but yeah, I agree. But Ben's got such a good arm, and that's what they're building around his arm, and that's one thing the Raiders have had in the past. They've had some really good quarterbacks. You know, Jordan Yance and Jake LaBerge, who's the offensive coordinator with the Raiders this year, was a tremendous quarterback. So they're always going to build it around the guy behind the center.
And look out, here is Chamalak trying to do it himself, but simply nowhere to go as 4 Rebels come in on the tackle. That's going to be a loss of a couple yards, and it's going to be 2nd and long as Ben Chamalak looked for his options, but the pressure flushed him out of the pocket, and he had nowhere to go.
Yeah, again, just nobody open downfield, and such a strong rush from the guys up front with the Rebels that he's got to get on his horse, and he's got to make quick decisions, and the Rebels are just beating him there.
Speaking of Jake LaBerge, the last Jake LaBerge memory I have was, I don't remember if it was the semifinals or the finals that were here, and it felt like it was the Rebels' culmination, and the Raiders came in here and just quieted the crowd. I think it was the last rainy game is what I remember. You might know, Paul, as we're on 2nd down, and this one not going to be enough, a gain of about 5, as that was, once again, Ruben Bonsu, who's had a lot of receptions, but it's the punt team again. Do you remember that game, Paul? Because it was wet, rainy, and cold is what I remember.
Yeah, I think that was 2017 or something like that. Yes, I do remember that game, and the Rebels were, they were supposed to win it. They were supposed to win the game, and the Raiders came down here and upset them, and Doug Hawking was the head coach of the Raiders that time and did a good job.
So the punt team out here for the Raiders, deep in their own territory, once again unable to get a first down. Has a bit of an awkward kick, and this is going to be a sky kick, very high but not very far, and that's going to roll out just shy of the Raiders' 45-yard line. So the great field position here for the Rebels to tack on another score as we are late here in the first quarter, about 49 seconds remaining.
Yeah, it's too bad he just kicked that ball off the side of his foot, and it's going to give the Rebels great field position. Yeah, they start at the Raiders' 43-yard line, and this game could get out of hand pretty quick even before this first quarter's over.
Last week also marked our first 3+ hour football game, but a pretty good pace here, and I think everyone in the cold weather doesn't mind that here, as it's going to be first down here as T. Jesse under center still, with his receivers in motion. Going to hand it off to Garen Hardesty out to his left. Flags do fly. It looks like a holding penalty going to be held here, but Garen Hardesty's still going to go deep down the sidelines and be thrown out after a gain of about 20. But I believe this ball is going to be going right back, as the holding call against the Rebels is going to back them up about 5 or 10 yards, and it's going to be a replay of first down.
Yeah, again, just one of those plays that somebody got some cloth, but you can see on the replay here, as Hardesty gets outside, he makes a move to his inside just with his hips coming up right. No, you missed it. Sorry. But from where my angle, he just made that little move inside, and he froze the defensive back, and he was able to pick up a few more yards. But just a tremendous runner, and one of those guys that's going to make things happen. And another one of those players that plays junior football that I think the CFL should be looking at and take into camp, give them a shot. Let these guys have an opportunity to show what they have.
So it's a 1st and long now, as it's a 1st and 20 by the looks of it. 10-yard penalty on first down, and the refs are going to blow this one down before the play even starts, waiting for the clock to probably restart, it looks like. And now the referee is going to signal the clock to start, so back underway, clock is running. And T. Jesse got his receivers in motion, and it looks like flags are going to fly. It looks to be offside once again, but Jesse going to take a shot. Why not? Ooh, a close play there as Farrell Yakim Kenfak can't haul that one in. And we'll wait and see. It looked like offside on Westshore again.
Yeah, it looked like the receivers got across the line of scrimmage before the snap. Push them back another 5 yards.
So it's going to be a 1st and an acre here after this.
Oh,
look at that.
Defense. Okay.
So 5 yards.
Guess the officials have better eyes than we do up here for sure.
So 1st and 15 now after the offside penalty called against the Raiders.
I guess that's not the right thing to say. Eh? Officials have eyes.
You know what? There's always an old saying that all the officials and umpires, no matter whatever sport you go to, always have their locker rooms in Braille. But no, we love our officials here
absolutely.
in the CJFL and the BCFC. We're all friends, we promise.
These guys they're just great individuals.
So Garrett Hardesty taking the dump off, a stiff
nice
arm to the left, and he is going to be run out of bounds. And look out as he goes through the fence. Holy, Garrett Hardesty, who had an injury scare a couple of weeks ago. You never want to see him run through the fence, but sure enough he did, and looks like he's going to be all right. It's going to be a gain of about 8 and bring up a 2nd down and 6. As Garrett Hardesty really can't be stopped by anybody, not even the confines of the field.
That's true. Yeah, it looks like he just went through with an opening in the fence where they had the trainer's table set up and a cooler.
So that's going to be it for our first quarter as the Rebels have a comfortable 23-0 lead. We're going to take a quick break and step away, but we'll be right back. Stay tuned after these short messages.
Yeah, my name's Harold Skadberg. I am co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Gulbrandsen. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. What we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range in a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
And welcome back. There has just been a pick 6 as Kaya Saunders has gone the length of the field and scored a touchdown for the Raiders, and it is 23-6 as the first play of the quarter goes the other way as Kaya Saunders jumps the route and goes to the house. What a play.
That was a great play. He read that ball. I think T. Jesse came out and he was looking at the receiver, knowing who he's going to throw to. The DB jumped it, and like you say, nobody could catch him down the sideline. Next thing you know, the Raiders are on the scoreboard.
Kaya Saunders, a huge highlight player of the Raiders. He's had 3 interceptions this season, been a defensive player of the week as well, as this kick nearly blocked, but it goes through, so make it 23-7, flags do fly. But what can you say for Kaya Saunders, a player on a team that's 0-6, hasn't had a lot of success, but in his own game and what he can control has really taken advantage?
Yeah, and that's what you do. Your opportunity comes, make a play. And I think that's what for the Raiders this year, they haven't had enough of that. The guys are working hard, and you're pulling together and doing what you can do, but a lot of times nobody's really making the plays. And that's what Kaya did on that one particular play to get his team on the scoreboard. And we got a bunch of penalty flags down the play. This might be roughing the kicker against the Rebels, because every flag that was on the field came out.
So we're getting the announcement now.
Roughing the holder. And an unnecessary roughness also against the Rebels, so let's move the kickoff up 30 yards. So the Raiders here can just pooch kick this and try to hold the Rebels deep in their own end. So they're going to be kicking off, I think it's 30 yards. I guess it'll be from the 40-yard line of the Rebels.
And this is one of the things, Paul, we talked about coming into this game is penalties. And seems like that problem hasn't quite been solved yet, as head coach Dexter Jenke a little perplexed here on the sideline as to how all these calls are going against him. But it has been a recurring theme, even though the Rebels haven't had much contest on the scoreboard. We have seen a lot of penalties against them in all the games we've had here.
And they lead the league in penalties yardage again this year. That's one of the things Rebel teams have done in the past. A lot of times when you've got a good team, there's things that happen on a football field that you kind of look past because it doesn't hurt you. But you get in a tight game and you take a penalty that's like I call them non-thinking penalties, where you weren't thinking at the time. And if you're in a situation where it's a tie game and you gave a team that you're trying to, to defeat for a Canadian Bowl or a playoff, first down on it in your own zone or something, it's a little bit different. But when you're playing in a game like this, these type of plays don't hurt you, and you just shrug them off in a way, but you'll get after them on next practice, making them run some laps or, doing some burpees or something.
So that was a little trickery there as Malik Gagne-Smith flipped it back to CJ Vincent on the return. Gain of about 30 there, 25 at least, as a smart play, works up the middle, gains some good yardage, and the Rebels will once again have good field position here.
Well, it took a while for the Raiders to recognize what had happened, but they were lucky they got in position to just hold it to about a 30-yard gain rather than a touchdown. But they got an injury on the other side. Somebody's hurting. Really hurt on the Raiders.
Yeah, trying to get a number at the far sideline there, but number 23 by the looks of it, that's Coyton McKinnon. But it looks like he's going to be able to go off alongside the trainer, so good to see that he's going to be all right as he'll get off the field on the special return team.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that happened, but he was down in pain for sure.
So we'll wait for
where he's holding it. Could be his shoulder.
McKinnon to come off the field here.
I guess not. No, he's patting his chest, so he got whacked pretty good somewhere on the field.
Might have had the wind knocked out of him too. That's one of those spots
where
you could just get hit in the sternum there and lose a bit of wind.
Yeah, and it feels like the world's coming to an end too when that happens.
So T. Jesse off of the pick six, back out onto the field. First snap looking deep downfield. It's for Pharrell Yakeem Kenfak, and he just can't get there as he lays out for it, but gets one hand before it pops out, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Again, just one of those sweet passes by Jesse. It looks like it's a ball that's floating. The way he throws, he's got such speed and power behind a pass, and just out of the reach. If he was able to get his left hand up, but too many DBs around to make that happen.
So 2nd down and 10. Jesse giving his orders to the Rebels offense. Kaya Saunders in the slot position, coming off the pick six. We'll see where he goes to here as 2nd and 10, receivers in motion. Jesse takes the snap, pocket collapsing, gonna stay in, gonna throw for CJ Vincent, and he makes the catch. Nice job, CJ Vincent, with 4 receptions already on the day, and he cannot be stopped downfield.
Again, just a route that he find an open area. He's running into a bit of a zone, and Jesse recognized it, stepped to his left, and again put the ball on a rope, and it's, for the first down, a big gain.
So the chains move on 2nd down, and the Rebels now into Raider territory. Jesse barking orders, takes the snap on 1st down, handoff to Garen Hardesty, and great job there by the Raiders defense to jump the line and get the tackle. That's Breven Arnill jumping the line and stopping Garen Hardesty in his tracks, which we haven't seen much of this year.
Yeah, they've haven't stopped much on the run. They've given up around 7 yards each time a team plays against them on the ground, and to get in the backfield that quick, somebody fell asleep to allow that to happen. Got a good play by the Raiders. It puts the Rebels in a 2nd and long.
A loss of 4, so call it 2nd and 14 here, as Jesse going to need to look downfield to get this 1st down. As the Raider defense gets a good stop here, let's see if they can build on it. As Jesse spreads out his offense, receivers going very wide with some in motion. Takes the snap on 2nd down. Here comes the pressure. Jesse going to throw deep at CJ Vincent again, and he's not going to get there. No flags on the play. And now it's 3rd and long. Could we see a punt? It looks like head coach Dexter Jenke looking for pass interference, but he's not going to get the call, and it's going to be the punt team who's going to have to come out.
Yeah, Nathan Halyuk, I just thought it was good coverage. On the replay, if you see it, it's he had his hand on his shoulder, and there was no hand fighting or anything. He was just in the perfect position, and the ball was a little bit overthrown too, so it wasn't like it was they had a fight for a football.
And here we go on the replay. You be the official, but I'd say that's a fair call.
And Vincent didn't complain, so usually that tells you the receiver doesn't say anything.
So Marcus Jones out to punt this ball away deep. It's a good kick here. And that one is going to be dropped, and the Raiders just lucky to get on top of that as A.J. Carr was the receiver back there, and nearly that would have been a huge turnover that deep in Raider territory, but luckily they get on the ball, and it will be Ben Chumlock's offense back on the field.
Yeah, I think Carr, what happened on that ball as it was punted up, I think it started to drift back towards the punter, and he just misjudged it where he was going to catch it because he was moving up on it, and then it just kind of drops away from him, and luckily enough, he was able to find it and get on top of it.
So the Raiders starting deep in their own territory, just shy of the 10-yard line, call it the 5. Good chance here for the Rebels to maybe get another safety or force a deep punt. But the Raiders going to have to charge up the field on a team that we haven't seen get a first down yet. So let's see if they can do it. Chumlock takes the snap. And that is going to be a handoff right up the middle, and he is going to go nowhere. As in to make the tackle there for the Rebels, that was number 31. That would be Peter Primo, and that's going to be second down right at the 7-yard line.
Yeah, again, just the Raiders tried the run. This is the third time they tried one, and the Rebels have shut them down each time. Yeah, there's no hole there at all.
So the Raiders needing to get some yardage here. It was actually a loss of 2 on the play, so call it 2nd and 12 as Chumlock going to spread out his offense a little bit. And the Rebels definitely going to bring some pressure here. And takes the snap and fakes the handoff, and here comes Chumlock with his legs, and he's going to try and make some defenders miss, but Tamar Honstein with the big tackle stops his quarterback without the first down. That's going to be 3rd down, and out comes the punt team.
Yeah, there was they kind of miscommunication in the backfield. Ben turned the wrong way, or the running back went the wrong way, and so he just had nowhere to go but run. And again, Rebels defense, the speed of the defense, get on top from pretty quick, and Honstein here just, hello, welcome to the BCFC.
How important is deception when you're talking about a quarterback and those fake handoffs? I mean, if you don't make that play right in the backfield, does that kind of spoil the entire, draw of that play action kind of play?
A little bit. I don't think it really deceives that many people. There's another safety. But what it does is throws the timing off, because now your mind has to reset, and then your body has to follow what the mind is saying. And if there's a 8-yard out, say, you're going to be late. And your mind might be thinking 12-yard out, but the receiver's original would say 8 or something. And so that's about all it does. It just messes you up mentally a bit.
So the Rebels get a safety, so they'll make that 25-7. And they will take over on their own 35-yard line now. We're still about midway through the second quarter, so lots of football to be played here. And the sun is down and the lights are on, and it's chilly. The wind is coming in here. Not as ferocious as it was when we were setting up for the show today around 4 or 5 o'clock, but still brisk. Our first brisk football game here at Starlight Stadium this year as T. Jesse back out on offense. Had some successful drives, but had to punt it away last time. Going to take the snap on first down, looking for a throw. That's Kieran Passant right up the middle. He's going to make it through the seam, and there is no stopping him, as on the first play of the drive, it's Kieran Passant all the way to the house, and that is a Rebels touchdown.
Just straight down the field, number 8, and it was just all speed after that. Again, Kieran's his favorite receiver. Mind you, he doesn't mind throwing to Cairo Berry either, but Kieran he runs just nice, good routes. He sees him wide open just down the seam between the two safeties, and his speed takes over and touchdown.
So here comes the extra point kick as Marcus Jones sets up with Ethan Picard, who we might see in the second half, holding for him. And the snap, the kick, and it is through. So tack on another one. That makes it 32-7 Rebels here still fairly early in the second quarter, so if you have your over-under bets, it's looking pretty good if you took the over.
Oh, absolutely. I think there's a lot of speculation that this game could get really out of hand in the first half, but it's a big score for this game, but nobody's out of it yet. It just depends how the Raiders respond as far as do they have anything that they can hang their hat on to just keep possession of the football, get a first down, get 2 first downs, and make that your goal. That's a place to start anyway, and you don't want to try to get too greedy and say, let's try to score on the very first play we get the ball after this kickoff.
So Luciano Coombs will be kicking this one away. And away it goes, as it's a pretty good kick. It's going to back up the Raiders' return team as A.J. Carr takes it this time. And on the tackle, that's a great job there. That is number 32 as Braden Look gets the tackle, and the Raiders' return gets very little yardage. It's a great job there by the Rebels special teams unit.
Oh, as Braden came in from behind and was able to loop around to make the tackle, and it kind of surprised AJ because it was he's looking up front, trying to follow his blocking. You can see when the player comes to look behind and gotcha.
Look out.
Yes, absolutely. I don't think he said anything though. That's not bad. I think that.
So the Raiders going to take over. They are at their 21-yard line here as Chamalak still looking for that elusive first down. As he's got his receivers in motion, takes the snap, looking to his left. It's going to be a screen pass that's going to be caught, but immediately met, as that is once again Ruben Bonsu, who's got about 5 receptions for 5 yards at this point, as that was number 31. That's Peter Primo in on the tackle, and it's going to be 2nd down and 9.
Yeah, just Ben on that one. He had his feet a little happy, wanted to get the ball out as quickly as possible. And again, the speed of the Rebels at this point, just dominating this game, and they're not allowing the Raiders any success, getting, those 2 or 3 yard passes, basically, because they certainly haven't been able to run against them this evening.
So 2nd down and long. Still have yet to see a 2nd down conversion here from the Raiders tonight. Let's see if they can get one here as Chamalak gets his receivers in motion, takes the snap, looking down the middle. Here comes the pressure. Chamalak flushed out to his right, still looking for a receiver, going to throw it deep, and then is going to be incomplete, as that was Bonsu again. The ball was up in the air, could have been intercepted, but the Rebels will take a 3rd down, and out comes the punt team once again.
Yeah, it was a good pass considering he was on the run. They just threw it into an area where their guys couldn't get at it, and a little bit high. But see on the replay here, Ben got flushed out pretty quick. But this is a good pass on the run into your right, making a pass like that, just a little bit high.
Has Bonsu been the primary receiver for this Raiders offense, and again, only have 5 or 10 yards probably on 5 receptions, as Raiders still without a first down here in the first half. As oh, look out, another deep punt, and this one's going to roll into the end zone, and that's going to be a 3rd safety of the game. As tack on 2 more points, it's 34-7, as the Rebels nearly have enough to make up a touchdown with all these safeties, but the long snap team needs to do some work heading into next week here for the Raiders.
Yeah, they're struggling with the long snaps for sure. They had the flu run through their team this week apparently, and maybe that's who was missing the game tonight is one of their long snappers. But again, this gives the Rebels the free points, if you will, and the ball at their own 35-yard line, and fresh set of downs. And T. Jesse's still on the football field with just under 8 minutes to go here in the second quarter, and I'm sure they're going to say, let's go down and score as quickly as we can here.
Jesse back out on the field. Took him 1 play to go to the house last time. Will he go to the house again? As Jesse takes the snap, handoff to Garen Hardesty, going to go to the right. He's got lots of room if he got the speed, and he does, as here goes Garen Hardesty down the right sideline. Is it another first play touchdown? It is, as Garen Hardesty goes the length of the field, 70 yards, and the Rebels are just tacking it on at this point.
Again, just a run by an exceptional running back, and once he got the edge, the Raiders lost their pursuit angles, and nobody was going to touch them. It turned out to be, what, a 55, 60, 65, 70, 75-yard run.
Garen Hardesty, the reigning BCFC Offensive Player of the Week. He had 150 yards and 2 touchdowns last week, and tack on 75 and another touchdown as well, as that's a big score. And the Rebels just keep on chugging here as the extra point is up and through. So make it 41-7.
Now they're on pace. Well, yeah, on pace for their average. This year the Rebels have been averaging 53 points a game, and unfortunately for the Raiders, it's on average too. They've been averaging giving up 57 points a game. So it's one of those meet the averages, and don't want to rub it in, but you also want to allow everybody to play. And when the backups get in there, they're going to play hard. They want to score. They want their name in the paper as well. And it's not up to the team that's scoring a lot of points to stop themselves. It's up to the team that you're playing to come up with a defensive plan or an offensive plan to make things happen and give your own team success.
So the wind starts to creep back into the field here, and everyone in sweaters and pants except for me and you, Paul, because we weren't smart enough.
I know.
So Luciano Coombs going to kick this ball away. 7:26 remaining in the second quarter, and now's when you start to do the math of being like, how many points could they put up if this keeps up? As Rebels kicking this one up, it's Carr once again returning, going to look up the middle and evades one tackle, and now it's just going to be a mob of players, but Carr will eventually be down just shy of the 25-yard line, as just missed a huge tackle coming downfield, but down at the 25.
Yeah, again, Rebels coverage team is there. They converge, and there's a whole bunch of them meet you at the hole and put you on the ground right away. Yeah, the Rebels, they've got 6 points just from Raiders unable to snap the football and on the punting game. And anytime you get free points, that's a bonus to your team.
And the Raiders don't have enough players on the field, so they'll quickly add one more. And now they've got 11. So Chamalak, again, still looking for a first down here in this ball game. Takes the snap, and it's going to be a handoff to the inside and going nowhere. That is number 32, Favor Analike.
Flag down. I think that might be against the Rebels. We got a little over aggressive there, but.
As Praise Odegun was the first one in on the tackle for the Rebels, but the flags are down. And we'll wait for
they're
the final
moving it
word
back.
here.
Going against
And it will be declined on the penalty, so lost.
They'll take that back because they might get close to the R. They get free points here just from the snaps that they have to punt.
So this ball going way back. It's at the 10-yard line now of the Raiders.
Yeah, 15-yard penalty. You don't decline too many of them.
Right. So here we go. 2nd and a mile. Chamalak takes the snap, throws out to the right, and that is going to be incomplete as Paul Robinoff, his first target of the day, is incomplete. And could this be a 4th safety of the first half? We'll wait and see here as the special teams units jog out on the field.
Yeah, again, the 2nd down and 25, and they throw a short out. I know Romanoff's trying to just get areas with his legs to say, okay, we'll get as far as we can, then we're going to be punting the football anyway. But just a pass just out of his reach and unable to secure that. So now you got the punter standing in his end zone, which could result here in another safety.
So wait and see what happens here as he takes the ball, and he does indeed
Give
kneel
safety.
in the end zone. So a 4th safety in the first half. We haven't seen that before. And attack on another 2 points, so that makes it 43-7.
I don't think that could be a BC record for the number of safeties in a game.
And we're only in the second quarter, Paul.
I know.
So 8 points have been scored here by the Rebels, not by touchdowns, not with 2-point conversions, not with field goals, but safeties in just the first 2 quarters of this football game, and we've still got 6.5 minutes left to go in this second quarter.
And after those last 2 safeties, prior to this one, they scored on the very first play from their own 35-yard line. One on a pass to Pazant, and then the long run by Hardesty on the last one.
So here we go. T. Jesse looking to make it 3 in a row. He's got receivers in motion, and it's going to be a handoff to Malik Gagne-Smith, and he is going to be stopped up after a gain of about 4. That's a good job there. That is number 43, Nathan Halliuk, making the tackle here for the Raiders, and it's going to be second down and about 5.
I think it was a good play by the Raiders on that one there to hold that to a 4-yard gain. But they had to be thinking, oh my gosh, what's happening here? Last time we were on the field, they scored. Last time we were on the field, they scored. And what are they going to do? They were throwing or running, but they did their responsibilities and limited it to a 4-yard gain. And now the goal here is to get the Rebels into a punting situation.
2nd and 6 as Jesse takes the snap, looking to his left. It's going to be a throw, and that is going to be incomplete as Tristan Ramos-Aravallo had it go right through his fingertips, and this will be the punt team coming out for the first time in a while.
Yeah, they had everybody flooding his left side, and he went to the short receiver and just off his fingertips. And now the Raiders get an opportunity to get the ball back, and where the Rebels are punting from, they could get it back in decent field position with A.J. Carr on a good return here.
So Marcus Jones, number 70 for the Rebels, will be punting this ball away. He's done pretty good as a first-year kicker here. Kind of learned the ropes in the first couple games of the year, but now it's been tossed over to him full-time. Had Gio Lanuzzi kicking a lot for them before, as Marcus Jones kicks this one pretty high up and not super deep, as this one is going to be down at about the 40, and it's going to be a no yards play as number 32 on the Rebels makes the tackle. That's Braden Look once again, but again, that no yards penalty seems to be pretty common when teams are kicking away.
Yeah, especially when the ball bounces. You're hustling down, the ball bounces, and as you start to gear down, you just can't stop on a dime. You're going to gear into the zone, and the officials it's to protect the returner from getting cold cocked, really.
So 5-yard penalty.
Yeah, when the ball hits the ground, generally it's you get a chance to back out, or if the receiver doesn't get onto the ball quickly enough, it's only a 5-yard no yards penalty. But if it's caught in the air and you're within the restraining zone, then it's a 15.
So Chamalak out on the field with good field position at their own 45-yard line as it's another screen pass, and this time some good yardage there as that's Harmon Ahuja making the catch. That's a gain of 6. Call it 2nd and 4.
Yeah, again, just a quick little pass. It was a sidearm type look on that one there, but to get an opportunity here, they're going to get a first down. This is the best play they've had tonight. Largest gain, about a gain of 7.
2nd down and 4. Chamalak looking to get a first down here. Got some receivers in motion, looking to his left. It's a quick throw, and it is going to be caught, and that is going to be enough for a first down as number 83, his number 1 receiver on the day. That is Ruben Bonsu making the catch, and they're going to move the chains for the first time today.
Yeah, again, it's a nice quick out by Bonsu and turn up field and got the first down of this game for the Raiders in Rebel territory.
So now the Raiders, for their first opportunity of the game in Rebels territory with the football, their only points coming off a pick 6 by Kaya Saunders. As Chamalak under center, going to fake a handoff, throw to the right, and nearly intercepted, but caught by Harmon Ajuya, who gets a gain of 12. So what a turn of events there, as another first down for the Raiders on a pretty scary screen pass that almost went the other way.
Yeah, didn't see who that was jumped up there. Was that number 6?
That was Riley Burfello.
Burfello jumped up and almost had the interception. And the receiver kept his eyes on the football, and they pick up another first down in the Rebel 29-yard line. Chance to add to their 7 points here.
So here we go. Chamalak moving the football well is right up the middle. That is going to be favor Analyke, because he's going to get a gain of about 5 right up the middle. And good job here by the Raiders, as they've had a good drive here.
Yeah, they put a few plays together. You got to feel good about it. Now it's up to the Rebels defense. They've still got their starters in. I know might be making a change here and there, but the starting 12 that started the game are still on the field.
So second down and about 5. Call it 4.5. As Chamalak gets his receivers in motion, takes the snap. Here comes the pressure, and he's going to be flushed out of the pocket to his right, looking deep, and that is going to be up and incomplete. As I think 2 Rebels had a hand in on it. Damar Hohenstein, one of them. And at the end of the day, it's going to be incomplete and a third down. So let's see what the Raiders have in mind here.
Yeah, you see he got flushed on this one, and as he lets it go, and it's a really good pass for somebody that's on the run. And the receiver was going down, just couldn't get both hands on it and secure it. Rebels had a chance to intercept it before it hit the ground, but not enough reaction from the football to give you a chance to get after it.
Damar Hohenstein in on that one, got a piece of it, and Harmon Ajuya was the intended receiver. So Ajuya and Bonsu are the 2 receivers who have gotten a lot of work here for the Raiders. We haven't seen Paul Romanoff, as you mentioned earlier, Paul, and we'll see if they maybe try and get him a little more involved.
Yeah, he's a talented receiver and one of Chamalak's favorites. But a lot of times when you are throwing the ball to other guys to start the game and they're hot, you just continue to get that confidence. That's where I want to throw the football to. But you're supposed to be looking you'll pick a side of the field and read that side, read coverage, read the different things. It's hard to scan the whole field in Canadian football because the field is so large. But you get an opportunity to pick one side. You got a guy and he's hot. Continue to feed him the ball.
We had a Spider-Man meme moment there for a moment as all the officials were pointing at one another. I'm not sure what they were talking about, but looks like they've got it sorted now. So the Raiders will get the ball here on a 3rd and short. They're going to go for a first down. They've got a wide open receiver. Did he hold on to that? I don't know. And it's into the end zone for a touchdown, as that is Bonsu, Ruben Bonsu, with the touchdown for the Raiders.
That was a nice catch. I thought the ball hit the ground to begin with, but he must have got his hand underneath it.
There's no video review in the BCFC, but a good catch there, as we'll see it on the replay, as Ruben Bonsu fumbled it for a moment. I think he dropped it. Yeah, there is no video review, but the Rebels are up in arms because sure enough, they saw it on the replay board. And that is going to stand, which the Rebels are not happy about. But here comes the extra point kick. It is up. It is through. So make it 43-14. And wow. That's something that just happens in junior football. We're not the NFL. We don't have the phone call to Toronto or New York or Vancouver. So the score will stand despite the dropped pass, and it's a 43-14 ball game.
And a lot of facilities in junior football don't have a replay board, and the fans all saw that, the coaches all saw that. So it's just one of those things that I think at the end of the day, it happens. If it was your guy that did that, you might not be arguing as much, but you can see it. If there's another angle, it'd be definitive, but is there anything there to turn it over?
Oh, it's close.
It's so close.
You never know on that second look when we slowed it down. And shout out to our boy Scott in the replay truck who's running those for us. It's awfully close. It's a matter of millimeters, maybe centimeters. And maybe a little bit better for the referees to see it a second time and go, well, you know what? It wasn't an obvious missed call. So
that's true. But then if we had that, we'd be here for more than 3 hours.
Exactly. So on the score, the Raiders' first offensive score of the game. That's not a pick six. It makes it 43-14. As this is Chris McClarty coming up the middle with some blocks and right through the middle. As he is down at the 53. The Raiders wanted a fumble there, but I believe that McClarty was down long enough that that's going to stand, and the Rebels are going to take over near midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, he just went straight up the middle, He got a little seam here. You can see on the replay as he gets a head of steam going on him. I think it's the kicker that makes the tackle eventually on this, or sort of gets run over. That is, he run over by the McClarty. Let Jesse back on the field, playing the whole first half here.
So here we go, 2 minutes remaining here in the second quarter. T. Jesse's still under center here and will be for the remainder of this half by the looks of it as he takes a snap on first down. Looking to his left, it's going to be a throw, and it is going to be incomplete as the throw was a bit ahead of his intended receiver. That's Tristan Ramus Aravallo. And lucky that just an incompletion and not an interception, and it's a second down and 10.
And Nathan Halyuk got across there, number 43, to get his hand in front of that one and bat it away.
As you see on the replay, the throw just a little bit ahead of his receiver, who kind of just had to make something happen to make sure that the ball wasn't going the other way.
Yeah, and he threw it into double coverage. I think he was looking for him all the way as the receiver, and but two defensive backs there to knock that pass down.
So here we go, second and 10. Jesse got his receivers in motion, looking to his left again. And here's the pressure, and Jesse going to try and take it himself. He's got a long way to go, and he hurdles over the defender to get it as T. Jesse with a gain of 15. And there's not a lot of quarterbacks that you could say that are 6'5", 220 and can run like that, as it's a Rebels first down.
Yeah, no kidding. He just got up pretty high there when he hurdled over the potential tackler to get that first down. And yeah, he's an amazing athlete, this guy. He's, along with a good arm, he's not afraid to run the football and, put his body into danger here.
As T. Jesse.
Yeah, good athlete.
Can stand in the pocket with anybody, but also has the legs if he needs to. And that'll move the chains as the Rebels drive stays alive here. Minute 25 as the clock runs. Jesse takes the snap on first down. Handoff to Malik Gagne-Smith going to the left. Got some blockers. Let's see how far he can get as he's going to be flushed out wide, and he's going to be knocked out of bounds, but not before another Rebels first down.
Yeah, efficient run. He had a nice straight arm as soon as he hit the corner. And I didn't see who he straight armed, but they put him on the ground, and then he picked up about 13 yards, 14 yards.
So good job.
Beat the guy to the corner. Just use your speed and get what you can, get to the sideline. And that's your safety cushion as well, as if a couple guys are coming in and step out of bounds.
So the clock is now running. There's just over a minute left here. First and 10 at the Raiders' 27-yard line. As Jesse with the receivers in motion, looking to his left to throw, and it is going to be caught. That's C.J. Vincent. He stays in bounds, and he is just short of a touchdown. It's going to be a first and goal as C.J. Vincent continues on his monstrous first half with another big reception.
Yeah, just an out, and he caught the ball and tiptoed the sideline. You can see on the replay here as he makes the catch here. He's right close to the sideline, stays in bounds, tight rope down, get down around the 5-yard line. Rebels first and goal, 50 seconds to go, and a chance to add to their 43 points.
So the Rebels have called a timeout here to maybe talk things over, stop the clock here. Only 45 seconds left. So T. Jesse going to talk with offensive coordinator / president Rob Lervold, and also Ethan Picard in on the conversation.
Yeah, it's good to have your second string quarterback, because then he gets a feel for the game, you make a part of it, where he has to stay in tune mentally in case something happens, and he's got to be inserted in quickly.
And you got to think we'll see Ethan Picard at some point in this football game. Not sure when.
Yeah, absolutely.
But we'll see. As Jesse back into the huddle. And let's see if the Rebels can crack 50 before the halftime break, which would be quite the accomplishment.
Yeah, certainly would.
And also a note for the Rebels, they have a backup starting center here as Xavier Sentakaya is the center, normally a left guard, but he's done a great job snapping the ball as Jesse right down the middle and on a slant. That is Kieran Poissant with his second touchdown of the half. And it is 49-14 Rebels as Kieran Poissant on the slant route, wide open, and that's another Rebels touchdown.
Yeah, just very, very quick, just a quick pass. He knew he was going to go to right away. and put it on a dime right into his hands as he's into the backfield. Yeah, that's what, his 5th touchdown pass today?
I believe so. It's 4 or 5. And T. Jesse just on a tear here as the extra point kick by Jones is up and good. So the Rebels do indeed crack 50 just before the halftime break here, as there's still 45 seconds on the clock, and the special teams unit will come out and kick this ball away. But you know what, in a half where it's been 50 points by the Rebels, I mean, the Raiders can't be too disheartened that they've only gotten 14, which, you know, puts them on track for 28 points of offense. We haven't seen them done that to the Rebels last time around, so
and that would be the most they've scored this year too. Their most points they scored in the game this year is 22, so they're close to that. But again, you know, for the Raiders, it's a process. Build it. It's just a process. And for the Rebels, though, you got to be impressed with T. Jesse. That was his 5th touchdown pass in this first half. And that gives him 30 on the year. Game 7, 30 touchdown passes.
And what's the record he's shooting for, Paul? Do you know it off the top of your head?
I think the Rebel record is 35 by Nate Cote back in about 2000 and when did Nate play? 7 and 8, something like that.
And the league record, just to put you on the spot?
I think it's 35 by Jordan Yance.
Well, there you go. So lots of time here for T. Jesse to break that. It is on the return. That was Favor Analyke trying to go up the middle, but he was met by a bunch of Rebels special teams defenders. So they're going to take over the ball here at about the 27, 25.
Yeah, again, not really good starting point. Rebels coverage teams have been really good tonight. They've had a lot of practice on the kickoffs.
So Ben Chomalak coming off a touchdown on his last drive. Going to look to move down the field here in a hurry. Only 37 seconds left, and he's going to go deep on the first play. It's Bonsu, and a good job there by the Rebels defensive unit. That was number 31. That would be Peter Primo in the backfield in the secondary.
Yeah, just picked him up, stayed with him, stay on the shoulder. You can see on the replay the pass was where it should have been thrown to, but it was just good coverage.
So now 2nd and 10 as the clock not moving yet, but it will start going here once everyone's in position. And away they go. The clock runs as quick throw to right here by Chomalak, and that is going to be incomplete as Ahuja was his intended receiver. Is there a flag down at the far end of the field, or did it just fall out? I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, they threw the flag. I think they're calling it against the Rebels.
Ahuja's got his hands in the air like it's against him, so maybe stand by here.
Well, they're saying offside against the Raiders. I think I decline that. Incomplete pass. Clock's not going to stop. You're going to have to punt. Are they going to give up a safety here, or are you going to punt the ball and give the Rebels a little bit of time on the field, in a short field, to try to add to their 50 points? I don't know. I think I would have. I think I'd be punting the football here, but looks like Coach Daniels is going to call a timeout to talk it over.
So let's see. It looks like they're trying to call a timeout here. Will they see it in time? And sure enough, thanks to Rebels head coach Dexter Janke for alerting the officials, it looks like they are going to get their timeout. So special teams unit will get out there at the last moment as the Raiders are able to call their timeout. And it looks like they're going to punt the ball away. So one more play here probably for the Rebels to see if they can maybe tack on another major here with still about 20 seconds probably by the time they get the football.
Yeah, it's one or the other. You know, you got to look at it to go, okay, we're down 50 to 14. Should we go for it here in 3rd down? Should we punt? And I think you got to coach it like you're going to coach a regular game, despite what the score is. Because the clock won't stop or start until the snap. And
so here we go. Raiders going to punt this ball away. It's Cairo Berry set to return this one, and he's at about the 50-yard line, and he will take it. He's going to go out to his left. Doesn't have a ton of blocking to work with, but he doesn't need it. Cairo Berry is going to go all the way, and that is another major score as Cairo Berry returns it in for a touchdown. What an electric play when it seemed like he had nowhere to go, but he goes right up the middle and scores another Rebels touchdown.
Yeah, just caught it on the fly. That was the key to start off the play, and he was able to just weave his way through back to his left through the entire Raiders coverage team, and his speed and elusiveness just kept guys grasping at him, but all they're tackling is air. Tremendous.
So here's the extra point kick. It is up. It is good. Make it 57-14, and we still have an entire half of football to play.
Yeah, that's Cairo's second punt return touchdown this year, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, he returned one in the first week, I believe. First week 1 or week 2. I think it was against the Raiders as well.
Yes.
In Nanaimo.
That's right.
And that really set the tone for that game because that was early on, and from there on, the Rebels really never looked back.
No, it's certainly an offensive display by the Rebels this evening, and they stay on this course. They're going to be hosting Canadian Bowl here on November 11th, and a great opportunity for a team from Vancouver, or Victoria anyway, to get their name engraved on the Canadian Bowl because they have such a strong team.
So Luciano Coombs going to kick this ball away. There's 10 seconds left on the clock. And Faber Analyte going to take this ball. The clock is now running with about 8 seconds left to go, and Analyte going to be met by a few Rebels. And the clock going to stop at 3.6 remaining. So one more play here. Is it a victory formation, or do you think they just go for it on this one?
I think you'll see just I don't know. Are they going to try to throw one up? A chance to get it intercepted. Mind you, hasn't been any pass intercepted this evening, other than the one the Raiders brought back. But or is it just a kneel down? The way the referee is set up, it's going to be a kneel down.
And by the look of the formation, it looks like Chomalock probably just going to kneel this one down if he can, to get his team back into the locker room. And sure enough, he takes the knee, and they're gonna make him snap it one more time.
Halftime.
And there it is, and the clock goes to 0, and that is the half. So the Westshore Rebels, with an extremely impressive offensive display in the first half, put up 57. We'll have to take your guesses on how many you think they'll have by the end of this game, as so far, so good for the Rebels. They have a commanding 57-14 lead at the half. Both teams will go into the locker room, get some instructions, get some water in them, and come back out for the second half of action under the lights here at Starlight Stadium. We'd like to thank you for joining us here on BCFC TV or on Telesoptic Channel 1981. For Paul Short, I'm Tyler Bennett. We're going to step away for this halftime break. We'll be back in about 10 to 15 minutes. Hope to see you then. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah, my name's Harold Skadberg. I am co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Gulbrandsen. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. So what we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range in a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
Where are we going? Show me around. Tip of our fingers, well, I never found all of the places we'll go where we are. Doors shut and open, well, life's never far behind. All these places are known to me. All these things that we'll see when we go.
Yeah, my name's Harold Skadberg. I am co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land. We decided to change the name to more reflect our heritage.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
John and I have been partners since 1986.
In the old days, we bought lots and built houses and sold them, and we mostly build condo buildings now instead of single-family homes.
John and I go back to Norway quite a bit, getting ideas from there how to do things better. We're using solar panel on the roofs and electric car chargers. More and more people are driving electric, and we want to be prepared for the future and promote some healthy and environment-friendly options, and people seem to like that. We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Gulbrandsen. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. So I used to frame for Harold 20 years ago when I was just out of college. I became a lawyer down in California, and I was looking at my next step in my career, and I just took over as the president last year. And we have plans to expand what we've been doing by fourfold in the next couple years.
And now we're building very close to the downtown core of Langford, and we got mountains, we got snow, we got forest. Everything is in walking distance, basically. So you get a whole lot more for your money in Langford.
It's several years now been deemed or voted the best place in Canada to live. With all that, people are working from home and they're finding it kind of crowded in a lot of places, so we're trying to offer larger units for them.
And so what we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range in a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
Let's take a long close look when Have a great show. Jesse's gonna throw. Look out, Karen Masson. Got it.
There from Cole Pickup, who will pass it there to Jesse King, who scores again!
At Westshore Motorsports Park.
Cross in the box for Parmar, and she's done it!
We're all looking for it. A place to reignite your soul and to awaken your inner child. To leave feeling awestruck, not because of the destination, but because of the journey itself. Take a deep breath and smell the freshness of the air. Listen to nature's music. Look out onto the vast horizon. Indulge in locally foraged food. Feel the warmth of the sun and the coolness of the ocean. Let your senses come alive.
My name's Harold Skadberg. I am co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Gulbrandsen. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. So what we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range and a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
Tip of our fingers, well, I never found all of the places we'll go where we are. Doors shut and open, well, life's never far behind. All these places are known to me. All these things that we'll see when we go.
My name's Harold Skadberg. I am co-owner of Viking Properties, formerly Pacific Coast Land. We decided to change the name to more reflect our heritage.
My name is Jan Egil Gulbrandsen. I'm a co-owner and partner with Harold in Viking Properties.
John and I have been partners since 1986.
In the old days, we bought lots and built houses and sold them, and we mostly build condo buildings now instead of single-family homes.
John and I go back to Norway quite a bit, getting ideas from there how to do things better. We're using solar panel on the roofs and electric car chargers. More and more people are driving electric, and we want to be prepared for the future and promote some healthy and environment-friendly options. And people seem to like that. We're fortunate enough to have Ben taking over more and more for us. He's been working with me for probably 4 or 5 years now, and the company is in good hands.
My name is Ben Gulbranson. I'm the president of Pacific Viking Group Properties. So I used to frame for Herald 20 years ago when I was just out of college. I became a lawyer down in California, and I was looking at my next step in my career, and I just took over as the president last year. And we have plans to expand what we've been doing by fourfold in the next couple years.
And now we're building very close to the downtown core of Langford, and we got mountains, we got snow, we got forest. Everything is in walking distance, basically. So you get a whole lot more for your money in Langford.
It's several years now being deemed or voted the best place in Canada to live. With all that, people are working from home and they're finding it kind of crowded in a lot of places, so we're trying to offer larger units for them.
And so what we try to do is really provide the most square footage possible within people's price range in a very neutral palette so that people can come in and make their own mark on their own home.
And welcome back inside Starlight Stadium here as we are underway for our second half of football as the Rebels kick this one away, and it is Faber Analyk on the return here for the Raiders. Not a big gain. He's down at the 25 as we are underway in our second half here. As lots of talking points in the halftime for both of these teams, but I think for the Raiders, it's probably on the defensive side of the football, trying to tighten things up a little bit, and for the Rebels, well, just maybe try and stay out of penalty trouble a little bit here in the second half.
Yeah, and give some of the backups, the second, third stringers, a chance to see some action, and keep them sharp.
So Ben Chamalak back out. He threw a touchdown pass near the end of the second quarter, and he now goes back to Analyk as that was some big run in there up the middle as Analyk gets a gain of about 5 halfway through. Call it 2nd and 5.
Yeah, it was a cutback play from the Raiders side, and Rebels defense gets in the pursuit lanes and to pick up a 5. But good positive first play for the Raiders here in the second half. When you're down 57-14, you got to try to find something that you're going to feel good about going home.
So Chamalak got the receivers in motion here. Going to be a quick throw out to the left. It's going to be caught. That's Paul Romanoff. He's got enough for a first down, and that will move the chains here for the Raiders.
That's his first catch tonight, but good enough for 10-yard gain, first down.
Paul Romanoff, a fixture of this Raiders offense, hasn't been featured yet today, but that could change here in the second half. As good catch, good run, gets past the chains there, and now the Raiders have a new set of downs to work with here as they're at their own 40-yard line still. Is Chamalak going to take the snap on first down? Another quick throw, and that one is going to be broken up, and that is Murdy Kasongo, as I believe that was once again Romanoff, the intended receiver, but this time incomplete for second down.
Yeah, it went in the Romanoff's hands, but Kasongo just pulled it apart, and the ball hit the ground, and incomplete pass. Going to bring up second down. Again, being a coach, when you're down by scores, and believe me, every coach is down by a score like this. Excuse me. You got to try to find that one rally point to get the guys to believe in, to say, okay, second half, let's beat them doing this, let's beat them doing that, and finding that one or two things to say, okay, this is what we're going to have success with, and get everybody to believe in it and move forward.
So that pass by Chamalak was out of range, so that's going to be incomplete for third down. Another good job by Dexter Jenke's defensive unit. And Paul, tell me about, because, in the NFL they have those real special helmets that have all the microphones and all those special technology, but here in junior football, it's a lot of hand signals. Is that how a lot of the play calls usually happen?
Generally, yes. Yeah, we've kind of, junior football is, they talked about the technology with, the microphones and the helmets and different things, but one of the challenges with it is not all the teams have that, the money to afford something like that, and you want to have the balance and equal across the entire league. So everybody does a hand signal, or some will send somebody in with a play and different things like that. But generally, it's hand signals and just a small one. It doesn't have to be this, elaborate setup. It's just touch your arm, touch your elbow, touch your head, and the plays have been talked about prior to the game as you put your game plan together and what sequence you want and on down and distance and that. But I see Jesse's come out here for start the third quarter, which I'm a little surprised at. But early in the year, with all the high scores that the Rebels were putting up, he was getting a lot of bench time. So maybe they just feel that we're getting into the later part of the season, want to keep him sharp.
As Garrett Hardesty there on the first down run, once again runs himself into the ground there on the cutback, and gain of about 7, so call it 2nd and 3, maybe 2, and Garrett Hardesty just runs. I don't even know how to describe it. It's with so much aggression, like he's angry at the ground, and sometimes the turf gets the better of him.
Yeah, I just put it down to his feet are moving so fast.
As Jesse now on the 2nd and short, Hardesty again got the first down and then some as he goes right up the middle, and that is a great gain as Garrett Hardesty goes about 20 yards up the middle of the field, and that's going to move the chains. It's another Rebels first down.
Just an explosive run right up the middle off the guard, and once he gets in past the linebackers, he gets faster. We're already running fast, but he gets faster. And he makes people miss because he's so elusive with this, and his feet are going so fast. It's hard to grab a hold of his legs.
So Jesse now at the 35-yard line in Raider territory. Looked like a bit of miscommunication there by the Raiders defense, but looks like they've got it sorted. Kieran Bassant was wide open down the near sideline, but Malik Gagne-Smith going to get the handoff here down the left side, and look at Malik Gagne-Smith go. He is going for the sideline, and he is going to be dragged out of bounds after a good gain as Nathan Halliuk in on the tackle, but not before a gain of about 15, call it 20, and that will move the chains again as it will be a 1st and goal here. Great run by Malik.
Oh, that was a great run, and again, as he got to the edge, he puts a straight arm on the defender. You can see that coming up just back as soon as he turned the corner, so it was hard to see that, but strong for it's short in stature as a player, but very, very strong upper body to be able to push somebody away with your arm from making a tackle, and that's a good tribute to have if you're going to be a running back.
So Jesse looking for touchdown number 6 on the day here as it's 1st and goal, and Jesse going back, going to throw deep. He's got Bassant back there. Does he get it? What a play. If so, it's going to be a touchdown. Kieran Bassant, what a catch. That's his 3rd touchdown of the day, and he goes around the defender to make it happen. What a play. Take a bow, Kieran Bassant.
And the 6th touchdown pass by Jesse in this game. He's got a ways to go to get the Rebel record. There was, I forget the quarterback, Yannick, I forget his first name, threw 9 in a game against Renfrew Trojans back in be probably 2009.
And here's the extra point kick. Marcus Jones setting up. And that is going to be through. So that will extend the lead to 64-14 Rebels. And a 50-point lead here, and so much ball game left to go here. I mean, the opportunities are really endless in terms of what the final score could be here, Paul.
No, you'd hate to see 3 figures go up, but sometimes, like I said earlier, you want your young guys to get into the game, but you don't want to put a harness on them. They want to work hard. They want to be able to have success, and if a touchdown happens, a touchdown happens. And But yeah, sometimes this year in the BCFC, pretty well right across the country, there's been in junior football, there's been a lot of high scores, and not sure why, but obviously there's teams that are just ahead of other teams, and things happen, success for one and not so much success for the others, and part of the growing process.
So the Rebels going to kick this one deep into the end zone. It's going to be A.J. Carr on the return. He's looking for some blocks, but the Rebels are shedding those blocks very quickly, and they're going to tackle him just shy of the 25-yard line. And that's one of the things, Paul, I mean, we talk about these lopsided games, but for many, many years, the Raiders were doing this exact same thing to this Rebels program. So it's just returning the favor, really.
And what goes around comes around. Like I said earlier, sometimes you're going to be up for a while, and then you're going to graduate some players that really helped you have success, and you got to teach the young guys how to attain that. So your program's going to be down a little bit, but it's a merry-go-round. It goes up and down as well. That you got to be careful what happens and what you say, because it's going to come back around the other way to get you as well. But with a league with an expiry date on it, with players, there's short memories, and there's always new players that don't understand the process, don't understand the rivalries, don't understand, the history. They're just out there to play football, and it's the coaches and executive members that have the long memories.
So gain of 3 there as Faber Analyte takes the handoff on first down. And when you look at the all-time head-to-head, I think the Raiders still have the Rebels, at about a 75% win rate.
Oh, easily, yes.
When you look at it. And so, yeah, that's just the ebbs and flows of junior football, as you alluded to there, Paul.
Yeah, it really is. And with these guys, these two teams, because of the rivalry, there's a little bit of spice added to it. They do talk about it because it's so close as well. It's Victoria was always or the Westshore was always a standalone back in the days, and always had the travel. Never had a chance just to have a short travel. It was always ferry travel. But when the Nanaimo was granted the franchise, that said, okay, now we can play night game here rather than day games because there's no ferry travel. And it got the fans involved. It got everybody excited about it. But unfortunately, at the beginning, the Raiders just dominated it. And, they won 3 Canadian championships in 4 years because they were a good football team. And now that's where the Rebels are. They're trying to emulate that and say, no, the island belongs to us now, not you guys.
So the Raiders using their first timeout of the half, which a little perplexing given where we are in the football game here. So the Raiders only going to have 1 timeout remaining for the rest of this second half. As Chamalak going to take the snap here on second down. He needs about 6 yards to go, and he is in some trouble. And Nehemiah Ford Bowen with a big tackle in the backfield as the big man gets in there to get the tackle, and that's going to bring out the punt team as Ben Chamalak really ran out of options there.
Yeah, he looked like he fumbled the ball a little bit, or he tripped up a touch. But again, the Rebels front really just get after you fast. And yeah, he dropped the ball there and had nowhere to go. Got to get on top of it and take the sack and start again with a punt. And again, in a position, they're going to allow the Rebels great field position here.
So the punt team out here for the Raiders. It's Carter Houghton going to kick this one. As far as he can pretty much kick it, it's going to be Cairo Berry near midfield looking to go down the left sideline, and he is going to be shoved out of bounds. That's near the 35, maybe the 40-yard line there. As Cairo Berry with another good return is going to set up the Rebels for another major score here. So we'll wait and see here, but looks like the call has finally been made, and 6 touchdowns is enough on the day for T. Jesse. So Ethan Picard enters the game here and will be under center for the Rebels. And we've seen Ethan Picard, and he's, as a backup quarterback, he's got a great arm, great eyes, and another good opportunity for him here.
Yeah, he can move this team. The coaches have a ton of respect for him and confidence in him that he can make things happen. And there you go, first play, let's get it out. I'm going to throw it to number 8, and we'll see what he can do. besides picking up first down, he's almost takes that, into the 20-yard line. No, I guess it'd be the 24, 23-yard line.
As Kieran Passant makes something out of nothing there, and a big gain there on a play that really didn't have much potential, but moved the chains as Ethan Picard with his first completion of the day is a good one. And that's what you got to do as your quarterback, just give it to your star players and let them work.
Oh, absolutely, and allow them to work. You don't want to hamstring them and just hand off. There's no sense putting it back there to do that. Allow them a chance to throw the football as well.
So Ethan Picard, 1st and 10 at the Raiders' 23-yard line. Takes a snap, looking to his left. It's going to be a throw, and that is going to be high and incomplete as Tristan Ramos Aravallo was the intended receiver. And that's going to be incomplete. As for the Raiders, that was number 43, Nathan Halliuk, breaking that one up, and it's going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, again, a good pass, just a little high. Defender comes in and gets clips at the legs. One thing the Rebels have had, the quarterbacks, the 2 or 3 plays that Picard's had here, but all first half of Jesse play, he had good protection. He didn't have to really be flushed out. So the offensive line's been working quite well tonight.
So here's a throw out to Tristan Ramos Aravallo, and it looks like he gets out before after the first down marker. So that's going to move the chains, and that will make it. No, it looks like they're going to call him short. So this might be
third down. Third down.
So 3rd and about a yard, and it looks like they're going to keep Ethan Picard out here to see if he can do it himself and get this team a fresh set of downs here.
Yeah, this is one of those ones you're up by a huge score, but you're up by 50 points, and it's 3rd down and 1. The respect to say we're going to punt the foot or try a field goal, but you allow keep your offense out there to get the first down, and it's not rubbing it in. It's just we're making plays. We're going to do what we do and make plays.
So Ethan Picard calling his own number on the QE sneak play is going to get himself a fresh set of downs as he gains about 3, maybe 4 yards on it as he rolled out to the left of the dog pile. And now it's looks like a 1st and goal. I can't really tell by that back marker there, but still about 10, maybe 11 yards to go till the end zone here. As Picard going to stretch his offense out nice and wide. And takes the snap on 1st down, and it's going to be a handoff to Malik Gagne-Smith. He's going for the end zone. Nice spin move, and he is in. Touchdown, Rebels. Malik Gagne-Smith with his first touchdown of the night. And now the Rebels enter the 70-point territory as they make it 70-14 late in the 3rd quarter.
Again, just a run off tackle, speed and elusiveness. And you see him as he makes his cut inside there. It's all about, keeping your feet moving, shoulder square to the line of scrimmage, and a little bit of a Raiders defense. It's kind of, I don't want to say giving up, but they're not certainly giving 100%.
So here's the extra point kick by Marcus Jones. It is up. It is through. Make it 71-14. As we still have 5.5 minutes remaining here in this 3rd quarter. And if you're the VI Raiders right now, what are some of the things you're saying as your players jot out to the field here?
Boy, I'm not sure how Coach Daniels has dealt with this all year, because this is familiar every game almost. And you got to try to keep them going. There's still a football team playing in a competitive league, and games are going to happen that aren't going to be in your favor, and some of them are going to get quite ugly. But I think it's just, again, make plays. Just go out, give 100%, make a play. Everybody make a play. You don't have to be an individual. Just make your play what you're supposed to do, and I think that's one of the things that's probably he's stressing the most, is to make sure that they're just taking care of business with what they can take care of business with. But it is difficult.
So Luciano Coombs on the kick. It's a good one. Flags do fly, though. Paul, what's the rule on that on a kick that goes out of bounds there? Is there a penalty that goes into kicking it out of bounds on a kickoff?
What they do is it moves the ball to the 40-yard line, so they'll start at the 40 and with the first down. And it used to be where they would go back and re-kick, and there were some plays that, it'd go out of bounds again.
Right.
And then go back and re-kick. But then they just decided the ball out of bounds, it comes to the 40-yard line, and give the team that is receiving the ball, decent field position for you kicking it out of bounds. And
so here we go. There's a dropped pass on first down, as looked like Miguel Dominguez was the intended receiver there, but couldn't keep his hands on the ball, and Chamalak is going to be disappointed with that one, as it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, Ben's had more than a couple dropped on him tonight, and he hasn't had his usual, like I'm on fire game, throwing the football, trying to save the Raider year, basically, but he has had a decent night tonight, but he has had a few dropped on him.
So 2nd and 10, Chamalak thrown out to the left, and Bonsu does a great job of extending. It looked like he got the first down from here, as Ruben Bonsu that is, makes a great catch, and that's, I would think, move the chains. It looked good for me.
Yeah, first down.
And it will, so the chains do move on a great extension here by Ruben Bonsu right at the end of the play.
He's had a good evening tonight with the pass catching, and the only touchdown for the Raiders through the air this evening.
So that will move the chains as Chamalak gets his receivers in motion, takes the snap here on first down. A quick throw to the right, and was that caught? Couldn't see from here as he turned his back to us here at the broadcast booth, but Harmon Ahuja looks like he makes the catch. So that's a gain of 5 on the quick pass to the right. And Chamalak will need another 5 yards here to renew the downs once again.
Yeah, again, just a quick pass, catch the ball, step back, throw it. Yeah, it was a good catch.
So back to the line of scrimmage here. The Raiders need 4, maybe 5 yards here for the first down as Chamalak gets the receivers in motion, takes the snap, looks deep, and Paul Romanoff nowhere even near that area code, as that is incomplete. And now it's decision time here for the Raiders offense to go for it or get the punt team.
They'll go, yeah. You're going to see this game speed up a little bit as well. I would think the officials will try to control the clock.
So here we go. 3rd down and about 4 yards here for the Raiders offense to try and stay on the field and avoid the turnover on downs, as Chamalak gets his receivers in order, takes the snap, and is going to be kicking it away. A little bit of a sneaky play there. And Gio Lanuzzi going to receive this one and go up the field and going to run right through a couple of Raiders blockers there, is Gio Lanuzzi on a bit of a trick play there. I didn't think there was a punt coming up, but sure enough, away it went, and a good return there by the Rebels.
Yeah, Ben's punted it a few times this year on a similar type of play. Half a dozen, one or the other. Really, for where the ball was returned to, it would end up being with a flag on the play here, but it would only being about a 10-yard punt with the return. So, and I think they're calling something here against the Raiders.
As Luca Bordage comes off the field here, looks like he's going to be all right.
And a rough play penalty, unnecessary roughness penalty. I think he said number 3. Paul Romanoff might have taken that one, but all I heard was a 3, so I wasn't sure if it was a double number or not. But again, Rebels in a decent field position here. With the football, it'll be at the at the Raiders' 52-yard line. 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. And another chance to add to their 71 points.
So Ethan Picard back out onto the field here, takes the snap, flags are flying. So wait and see, but Picard going to throw it downfield looking for CJ Vincent. That is going to be incomplete, and we'll wait and see what the flags are for here. And that's something we hope doesn't turn into a theme here late in the 3rd quarter, is flags, because last week against Valley in the 2nd half, there was a flag almost every play.
Yeah, Raiders offside. Moves it up 5 yards.
And in a game like this, you don't need any extra stoppages for all parties involved, pretty much.
No.
So the Rebels going to move the ball up 5 yards here. 1st and 5, just past the Raiders' 50-yard line, still near midfield. T. Jesse done for the day after throwing 6 touchdowns and 2 1/4 of quarters played in this ball game was exceptional. As Malik Gagne-Smith takes the handoff, great cut down in through the sideline. Here goes Malik Gagne-Smith, and he's going to be thrown out of bounds, but not for a gain of about 25, as some shifty moves by Malik Gagne-Smith gets the Rebels deep into Raider territory.
That was a great move, and when he cut up inside, then he broke to the sideline. That was just, he lowered his body, and tremendous move. The Rebels are just blessed with running backs and receivers. Very, very strong football team, and not taking anything away from any other teams in the league. Everybody's full of athletes, but the Rebels just to be hitting on all cylinders this year so far.
So here's another 1st down, and it's going to be Malik again, and he is going to break some tackles. Look at Malik Gagne-Smith go, and he is going to be thrown out of bounds, but not for a gain of about 9 or 10. And Malik Gagne-Smith, a football player where 20 years ago would never be a running back, just on how the game was played. But how has that position, the running back position, evolved in the last 25 years?
Well, it used to be, you'd line up in an I formation or run a wishbone, option type thing where you had a lead block and some in front of you, a big fullback. But now it's all about I don't want to say little guys, but shifty guys that have moves that can move left and right and spin and take a hit. The whole game's all. Quarterbacks are runners now. Tight ends are can run a 4.40.
Oh, look out, as that play for Kieran Poisson was in double coverage, nearly intercepted, and Kieran Poisson almost got run over as well. Luckily, everyone's up and okay, as that was a dangerous play, and you heard the audible ooh from the crowd there, but it looks like everyone's going to be all right, and it's just going to be 2nd down.
Yeah, that was the pass the Picard just really didn't get any oomph behind it, and didn't give Kieran an opportunity to get set up for it, and allowed the Raiders to converge on top of him.
So 2nd down and 10 here at the Raiders' 13-yard line. Picard takes a snap looking to his left. It's going to be a throw caught by Poisson, but he is going to be thrown out of bounds. Gain of about 7. There is a flag in the backfield, so we'll wait and see what this one is. Looks like it's against the Raiders, so that will probably set up a 1st and goal here.
Yep. Unnecessary roughness is against, I think it's number 45 on the Raiders that took that one. That was a nice pass Picard threw on that one to where Poisson just make the catch, get what you can get, and live for another down.
So it looks like it's going to be on the 1-yard line here for the Rebels to try and punch this one in, as they're going to spread out the offense super wide. As Picard under center, got 2 men in the backfield, going to step out, looking to his left. He's going to throw deep in the back of the end zone, but that's out of the reach of Cairo Berry, who was the intended receiver. And that's going to bring up 2nd down as Ethan Picard maybe looking to try to get a little too cute there and try and find a receiver way back deep in the end zone.
He was open, but he put too much air underneath it. But also Berry was running out of real estate as well, and would have been a tough catch.
So Malik out, and Manny Mansoray is in now at running back for the Rebels. We haven't seen him too much this year, but he is the Rebels' 3rd string running back. He's had a few touches over the season, but it's the first time we've seen him today here, and he is going to get the ball. And Manny Mansoray, welcome to the football game. You are in for a touchdown, and Rebels going to go out to congratulate him, as that's his first touch of the day, and he makes it a major. And that's going to extend this Rebels lead to 77-14 with 12 seconds remaining in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, just to run up the middle out of the shotgun and touchdown. 12 seconds, wow. But allowed, with unnecessary roughness penalty by the Raiders allowed that to happen, and They had them in a third down.
So here comes the extra point kick. Marcus Jones gets it up, gets it through, and it is good. So it is 78-14 Rebels late here in the third quarter, and still a whole nother quarter of football to play here. And we inch ever so closer towards the eluded triple digits, which I'm not even sure we have the capability to even show on the scoreboard. We'll have to see if we get there. But yeah, what an offensive display here by the Rebels today.
Yeah, they just got everything's working. Everything they've been trying. The punting game's been good. They've returned a punt for a touchdown. They've, their offense obviously putting up 78 points is testament to where they're at with their program at this point. And defensively, they've only allowed the Raiders maybe 100 yards of total offense in this game, if that.
So now Luciano Coombs going to kick this ball away, and the clock will start at 11 seconds here as A.J. Carr going to take it out. And he has nowhere to go as 3 Rebels are instantly in on the tackle. And the clock will stop with 3.5 seconds to go. So one more play here in this third quarter.
Yeah, again, just great coverage by the Rebels on the kickoffs, and like I said earlier, they have had a lot of practice tonight kicking off. But at the starting points, it's difficult if you're not going to get the ball at least the 30-yard line. It's your field becomes much longer, and when you're down by a score like this, it's a huge hill to climb. But again, go back, get a first down. Start there, get a first down.
So Ben Chamalak back out on the field for one more play here in this third quarter. He will call his orders, take the ball, and it's going to be a fake handoff looking deep downfield. He has a receiver behind the secondary, but simply no time to throw it. That's going to be incomplete, and that will be the final play of the third quarter. As now the flag raises, so the teams will take a quick drink, take a break, and we will step aside as well as we switch sides. Thank you for tuning in, and we will be right back here at Starlight Stadium after these short messages. And welcome back here inside Starlight Stadium. We are just getting set and ready to go here for our fourth quarter of action. And just to fill you in on our out-of-town scoreboard here, no surprises. The Okanagan Sun take a 66-7 victory over the Kamloops Broncos in the interior. And just on this second down play, there's a throw, and it is going to be caught as Harmon Ajuya makes the tremendous grab, although flags were in the air, so we'll have to wait and see. But that's a great catch if it stands, and it looks like by his body language it is not going to stand, as Harmon Ajuya, that's still one for the highlight reel, even if it doesn't stand, because that was a great catch.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was offside, I believe, on the receivers. It was just tipped up and heading down on the nice catch.
And just to finish my train of thought there, in Kamloops, the Sun take it over the Broncos 66-7, and we don't have an update from Prince George in the last little while, but at the half of that game between the Rams and the Kodiaks, it was Langley up 18-3, so we'll let you know if we get any updates there. And here in Langford, we are on Century Watch as the Rebels look to crack 100. And Paul, you were a great historian of this league and this game. Do you remember any 100-point games? Is there any in history that you can think of right away?
Yeah, there was one. I think it was 1985, 84, something like that. I think it was the Renfrew Trojans got beat 109 to something. That's the most points ever scored. When it was Payless back in 1985, we got beat by Richmond Raiders 89-0 in a playoff game. Remember that. Rebels got beat by, Kamloops got beat by Nanaimo, I think it was, or the Raiders, 95-17 or something like that. And so there's been some pretty big scores. But and then, you're not trying to do it. I think, if you get to the point where you're scoring touchdown after touchdown after touchdown and you're faking punts and going for 2-point converts and different things like that, that's a different story. But if you guys are just playing, that, these type of scores are going to happen. But yeah, 100's rare, very, very rare.
So Ben Chomlock, he ran it himself there for about 25 yards to get a first down, and on that play it was Riley Burfello jumping the route and getting a good tackle in the backfield. That's a loss of 3, call it 4. So the Raiders on a 2nd and 14 here need to get the ball moving in their positive direction here to move the chains, as Chomlock going to call his orders. And he takes the snap, going to look deep to his right, and he's going to throw it, and it is going to be incomplete, as that throw just over the head. That was Miguel Dominguez, the intended receiver, but unfortunately a bit of a high pass, and that means the special teams unit's back out on the field here.
Yeah, I could be punting on this one. Yeah, excuse me. Ben he started out to look to his left and went back to his right where he's comfortable throwing. Throws a lot to his right, but just a little bit high. 2 receivers in the same area. They'll probably talk about that when they see the film to try to figure out why would we have 2 guys there on that particular play.
So Carter Houghton going to kick this one away here for the Raiders. A little bit of a low snap and nearly blocked, and this one is going to fall nearly out of bounds. It's just going to roll back there, so a good favorable roll there for the Raiders. Going to stop right at pretty much midfield, sorry. So Rebels going to take over with, once again, good field position. I don't think they've been in bad field position at all this game, other than the pick 6 they gave up in the second quarter.
Yeah,
there, so.
and they create good field position with the success they had all evening, running the ball and passing the ball. But this is again a chance for Picard to move the team, and he's going to be the guy called upon if something unfortunate happens to T. Jesse, whether an injury or a cold or flu or whatever, and he can't play. But this is where Picard's going to earn his stripes.
Oh, Picard fumbled the snap, but it looks like he's still going to get it, and a low throw incomplete. C.J. Vincent, the intended receiver, as that play a little bit doomed from the get-go there, as Picard had some trouble on the snap and couldn't get the ball into the hands of his receiver.
Yeah, threw the timing off completely when he had to get his eyes down on the football to get it in his hands rather than downfield.
So 2nd and 10. Picard gives the orders in the huddle, and everyone will spread out here. No Zion Brown, as we alluded to earlier today. He suffered a knee injury last week, and looks like he's not going to be available in the foreseeable future here for the Rebels. As Picard going to go deep here on 2nd down and into double coverage, and that is going to be incomplete, as Sebastian Lambert was the intended receiver. Some boos from the crowd calling for pass interference, but unfortunately you don't get that call too much when you're in double coverage.
And you also probably don't get that call when you're up 78-14 either. But yeah, it was a good pass, but he did throw it in double coverage, and just a little bit behind the receiver as the ball came down. But yeah, it'd be rare for a flag to come out on that when you have such a score like it is now.
So the punt team is out here for the Rebels on a 3rd and 10. So we'll put the Sentry Watch on hold here for a little bit, as they're going to punt this ball away as Marcus Jones takes the snap and gets a good booming kick. That one is heading towards the far sidelines and will roll out of bounds around the 25-yard line of the Raiders. So good kick there, and the Raiders going to try and get something going here. We haven't seen much from their offense here in a while.
Yeah, again, just try some success and then get back on the bus, go home, and go to practice tomorrow. look at the film and prepare for the, I think it's next week they play Langley, so another tough one coming up for the Raiders. And Langley beat them the first time they played this year. I think it was 65-3 or something. And again, tough. 2023 will be a year that the Raiders will want to get in the rearview mirror really quick.
Yeah, Andrew Harris definitely has some work to do when he steps into his role with the team next year.
He seems fired up about it anyway. That's the good part. And the neat thing about it is if everything stays as it is and Andrew comes in to be the head coach of the Raiders, all the head coaches in the BCFC were all BCFC players at one time. So it's a testament to where, what these guys are learning and how they enjoy this game and want to put back into developing young athletes and these young men.
So Favor Analyk on the first down run gains about 3. As that was Taven Spina on the tackle for the Rebels.
Yeah, nice, not a bad little run. It just, again, the Rebels are whoever's on the field is coming after you. They're going to say, I'm here to play now. It's my chance. I'm not going to let it go.
There's a big sack in the backfield, and that is Manny Fatu making the sack right up the middle. Great job by Manny, and that's going to be 3rd and long for the Raiders.
Yeah, he didn't give anybody much time. Ben just stood back there, and he got the guy, he was in the backfield real quick, and Tromlock didn't have any chance to step up or get out of it.
Manny Fatu, defensive lineman of the Rebels, makes the sack and forces the Raiders to punt again, and the frustration really starting to set in here on this Raiders sideline as that kick nearly blocked, and Chris McClarty going to receive this one here for the Rebels, going to go up the left sideline and breaks a couple tackles as he throws on the hit stick and gets past the Raiders' 30-yard line. So once again, great field position here for Westshore.
Yeah, again, it's just an efficient run. Catch the football, get your head down, get going, and make a couple guys miss. And usually between the first wave, second wave, there's going to be some space, and he gets up the sideline and knocks a guy out of bounds before the rest of the cavalry comes to help out. But again, like you said, great field position, and Picard's got an opportunity here to put some more points on the board to bring the Rebels into the 80-point mark. And
so here's Picard on first down, looking to his right. He's going to throw. That's going to be caught and tackled down there. Gain of about 7. Call it maybe 8.
Oh, give him first down.
As that's going to be a first down. So apparently my eyes aren't working, as that's Tyler Metcalf on the catch, number 89. An addition to this Rebels offense, not available for the first few weeks, but we've seen him get a couple looks in the last couple weeks, and that's going to be enough for a first down to move the chains. So here we go, first down. As the wind really blowing here, ball at the 15 it's a throw by Picard. That is going to be caught and aiming for the end zone, but not quite getting there. And that was Metcalf once again. So they like number 89 there, as that's another catch, and now it's going to be 1st and goal.
Yeah, they put the ball on about the 1.5-yard line, and again, the Raiders are just hands on their hips, and somebody's calling Rebel timeout.
Yeah, looks like a Westshore timeout here. I'm not sure. The Westshore sideline is going nuts here for number 17. That's Ryan Vincent. I don't know if that's his first snaps of the game or of the year or something, but the Westshore sideline is really happy that number 17 got in the game there. So we'll wait and see what the play call is here. If maybe they try and get him involved just for for morale.
Well, there's always a player or two that everybody likes, and maybe it's his opportunity here, and maybe that's where the play call is going. Is 17 going to be the ball carrier on this one here?
Let's wait and see. 1st and goal, Ethan Picard. Going to take the snap, and it is going to be a handoff. Here he goes into the end zone.
Oh, the bench is going nuts. So, yeah, is it his birthday or something? Who knows, eh?
Touchdown, Westshore. Ryan Vincent gets the score, and the Rebels love it.
Yeah, there's some reason. Have to check with Coach Janke after the game.
And this is a party here in Langford for the Rebels, not so much for the Raiders. But the Rebels loving that one, and that seemed like a play call from the sidelines, not the coaches.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yes, that's awesome, as a matter of fact.
So the extra point is up and good. Make it 85-14 Westshore. As we are into the second half of this fourth quarter here, and just smiles all around here for the Rebels sideline.
Oh yeah, well you got to feel good. You know, you're hitting on all cylinders, and everything seems to be working that you're trying tonight. So as coaches, you're going, okay, that's not bad. But they also recognize and realize that next week's a different game. It's going to be a bit tougher. They're heading up the Kamloops. So it's just one of those things that you got to say, okay, put this one behind us. It was a win. And, you know, we set a record for points scored against the Raiders, you know, stuff like that. But let's look forward to the next game, and then the next game, and then the next game, and then it's playoffs, and then they start to get a little bit tougher.
So the wind really picking up here, at least up here in the broadcast booth. It is on the field as well here as we get into the final countdown here of this fourth quarter. Still about, 7.5 minutes, which feels way too long. But a short kick here and nearly dropped and held on to now by the Raiders as they'll only get a couple of yards. That is Felice Toscano on the return, gets about 5, maybe 10 yards, and out comes this Raider offense, who, again, we haven't had much to speak of in the second half here, so we'll see if they can maybe make a few plays happen here.
And you're going to see a new quarterback, looks like. I think it's number 9 coming in.
Jaden Playfair. And on both sides of the coin, when it's a game this lopsided, I mean, you can really try anything out, and this seems like a situation where it's a good chance for some experience for some of the younger players on both sides of the ball here. And again, Jaden Playfair going to get some reps here at quarterback under center.
Yeah, absolutely. Any live action against a real opponent, just it helps. It helps you develop as a young man, helps you develop as a football player.
Manny Fatu, another big tackle there, a gain of maybe 2 or 3 as Playfair tried to scramble out of the pocket, but didn't have very many options again, and it's going to be a second down and long.
Yeah, again, it does. Rebels' defensive line has just been in their face the entire game, haven't allowed the quarterbacks much time on any play, really.
So Playfair going to get his receivers in motion, needing a first down here. Bit of a low snap, going to throw a deep ball down the left sideline and incomplete, as there was Murdy Kasongo there to get in the way, as that was Ruben Bonsu, who's been busy today on the Raiders' offensive side of the ball, but unfortunately into double coverage and couldn't get there. So it'll be a third down and long, and looks like the Raiders are going to go for it.
Kind of weird, but unless they're going to do a little pooch punt here like Chomlock tried last time.
Well, if you're the Raiders, you don't really have much to lose here, other than maybe pride.
Yeah.
And yeah, it is going to be a punt. So the Rebels going to have to back up. It's actually a pretty favorable kick here, as Praise Odegon going to pick up the ball. And he's going to try and go up the right sideline. Make some defenders miss, and really the party's on here on the Westshore sideline, as it's all smiles and laughs.
Well, the one thing, you get a score like this, you know, in the past when these two teams would meet, it would deteriorate into a lot of pushing and shoving and a lot of yapping going between the benches. But so far, there's been none of that, and that's a credit to the head coaches. You know, it's part of the game you don't want to see. But in the past, there used to be some pretty ugly things happened, and I'm glad that's in the past.
That was Faranmi Akinlola that actually got that punt return. Excuse my mispronunciation there. As Ethan Picard on first down, going to throw deep to the left sideline for Kwame Franklin, and he drops it.
Just couldn't hold on.
He heard the train coming downfield, and that was Felice Toscano on the Raiders side of the football, as that's a drop pass, and it's going to be 2nd down and 10.
Yeah, the pass was a little bit high, and as he was trying to bring it down, it was the defender was there, and he took a peek at him to see where he was, if he could make a move, but just couldn't secure the ball after that.
So Picard on a 2nd down and 10. Receivers in motion, takes the snap. Bit of an awkward snap, but Picard going to roll out of the pocket here, going to throw, and that is going to be caught. Oh, is it loose? Incomplete is the call, as Kwame Franklin had it in and out of the hands a couple times there. And it looks like it's going to be the punt team once again here for Westshore.
Got a flag on the play here deep. I'm not sure what it would be, unless it's interference or illegal contact on a receiver. Legal contact on a receiver, so that's going to give the Rebels a 1st down.
So a little bit of help there from the officials. Grants a 1st down here for Westshore. And Paul, when you talk about defense, it's usually 2 different theories or methods. There's the man defense and there's the zone defense. With receivers in motion like you do in the BCFC, how do you tackle that? Do you see a lot of man defenses because of that, or zone, or is it a little bit of everything?
Generally zone, and most teams in junior will play zone based on the fact that being athletically, it's really tough to cover man-to-man, and you're not really sure because of the different athletic abilities and not knowing every player really well. You'll play zone more than you would play man. But if you've got a guy that is a great athlete, then you would probably match him up with their best in a man-to-man situation.
So that was Sean Clazy getting his first touch of the football game, as the Rebels really going through their gamut of talented running backs they have. And Sean Clazy, one of those members, and looks like he's going to stay out on the field, number 28.
Yeah, just digging into the deep pool that they've got of talent. And
so here's Picard going to throw it on 1st down for Kwame Franklin, who maybe had some popcorn in the halftime break, as he's dropped a couple passes now, and now it's going to be 3rd down, and it looks like the punt team is out.
Yeah, again, he had an opportunity to squeeze this one, but you could see, if there's a replay, you could see his head turn to find out where the defender was, and then took his focus off the ball.
So the punt team back out on a 3rd and 5, as Marcus Jones going to kick this one away. There's 3:54 remaining here, and the Rebels are still 15 points away, so 2 touchdowns, and you need an extra point conversion in there somewhere, or a safety to make it work. But a comfortable lead, we'll put it at that.
Yeah.
As Marcus Jones takes this high snap and kicks it deep into the Raiders territory, this will roll out of bounds. So it looks like the Raiders will start at their own 30-yard line as we enter the final few minutes of this ball game, as I'm sure everyone is happy that we are into that zone of the game, as we're really only playing for pride at this point.
Oh yeah, and that's, you know, the crowd started to disperse a little bit just after halftime, and the game was over at end of the 1st quarter, really, when because they jumped out to that 23-0 lead and haven't looked back.
And this is one of the situations we've seen the Rebels, you know, with those blowout wins in the first few weeks of the season. I don't want to say got complacent, but they definitely got comfortable with where they were. And there's a big hit there as Playfair tried to go up the middle. But where the Rebels kind of eased off the gas a little bit, and I think it showed in that game against the Langley Rams, where they, you know, were down 14-7 at the half, and it was like, whoa, hold on here. We're supposed to be scoring 35 points a quarter. So hopefully, I know they're in Kamloops next week. They have a bye, but then I think it's back to Langley here is their next home game. So it's going to be a tough test, and you hope that success doesn't just come from, you know, being the top team in the BCFC.
Absolutely. But they're also going to run up against a couple teams. You know, we know the Okanagan and Langley are very good football teams, and you can't really, you know, give up on the Valley Huskers. And those are the 4 teams that are going to be in the playoffs. Kamloops, these guys, and Prince George aren't going to be in the playoffs. So they've got to really be prepared that after they play Langley, they go up the Nanaimo, but then it gets serious, and any slip, you're done. So they got to make sure that they keep playing and focus, And Dexter Janke is a great football coach, and he's going to make sure that his guys are prepared week in and week out for what's going to come up, week in and week out.
So the punt team back out here for the Raiders. Carter Houghton, will kick this one away, and it'll be Chris McClarty on the return. He's going to go way out to his left. He's got some room if he can get there. Here comes Chris McClarty down the left sideline. Will he get to the end zone? Yes, he will. Touchdown Rebels, and the Sentry Watch is back on here with still over 2 minutes remaining, and what a return there by Chris McClarty, as there was no blockers to be found on that left sideline.
I didn't realize he was that fast. He turned the jets on when he went to his left, and he just left Raiders standing there. It's in the replay here. Once he got going out here, he just ran past guys. They couldn't catch him. And as he got close to the end zone, he knew he had to leave his feet to cross the goal line as he getting close to the sideline. But it's another tremendous run.
So extra point is up and good. Make it 92-14. Westshore Rebels with still 2 minutes to go. And if the Rebels defense comes up big here, I mean, there's a good chance the Rebels will have a shot to add one more major on before this ball game is over. So the special teams units out onto the field here.
Yeah, it's I'm sure it was a score that nobody saw coming tonight. Yeah, I think it's kind of the officials want to get this game over with as well, obviously.
And the Rebels have to be looking at possibly setting a BCFC record for just points for in a season, and this will definitely help their case in that department.
Yeah, I can't remember what it is, but it's held by the Raiders.
Yeah,
it was about 2009 Raider team was one of the offensive juggernauts, and they put up a lot of points.
So AJ Carr on the return only gets about 5 or 10 yards, as there was a swarm of red jerseys on him.
Yeah, it's all night. They've had great coverage on kickoff teams.
And Ryan Vincent, number 17, was also on the kick return team there. I don't know if he was the first guy to get there, and yeah, he pretty much was before all the cavalry arrived. So the Raiders going to have to start here just shy of their own 20-yard line here. They really want a first down here so that way they can just run the clock and go home here. But I'm sure the Rebel defense will want to give their team the ball once more to see if they can crack that 100 mark, as it's going to be a run right up the middle. And that was a good run there, and there's a dog pile of players.
The ball dropped out and picked up by a lineman. Number 68 got his hands on that one and kind of rolled forward, but they had a new quarterback in there, number 12.
There's Andrew Mattis, number 36, with his first carry of the football game there. Didn't gain much yardage, only a couple. And it's 2nd down and 8. The clock runs. We're at about 1:45 here left to go in this football game. Those that have stuck around are probably waiting for the same thing you are at home here, to see if the Rebels can crack the century mark, a rare feat in junior football. As there's a miscommunication and a fumble, and the Rebels are going to take over. As Nico Hornyansky, was in at quarterback, got hit, dropped the ball, and oh, look out, here come the Rebels again as they jump on the football.
When it rains, it pours.
And you can tell just by hearing the sidelines is that they know what's up and what's to play for here, and the defense was fired up that they got that stop. That was Jonah Anderson, number 99, forcing the fumble. And here's Ethan Picard at the Raiders 15-yard line. It's going to be a first down handoff to Manny Mansoray. Flags fly, and Mansoray's got a bunch of players on him.
That'll be
this one will have to
be
come
a
back.
hold, yeah. That'll come back. Yeah, just a run outside, but got the edge because of the hold.
Where did they get these 2 points from, by the way, for the 94? I was trying to piece that together on where they got the extra 2 points.
I think they've calculated wrong. There's been so many points scored. I think they're doing it on their fingers and not with a calculator, because I have 92 points.
Yeah, so do I. But the official scoreboard says 94, and I was just trying to piece together where they got the extra 2 points, because it wasn't a safety where the fumble was. Otherwise, they wouldn't have the ball there.
Correct.
So Picard going to take the snap, and Manny Mansoray is going to go out to the left once again. He's got 4 Raiders waiting for him, but he somehow breaks a couple tackles, and he's only going to get back to about the 20-yard line. So second down and 10, call it. I'm sure I'll be the most wanted man in Langford if I correct someone if they get this touchdown and finish at 99 instead of 90.
Yeah.
But I don't know how they got to 94. So we're going to show it as 92-14 on our scoreboard, although the one here at Starlight Stadium says 94. And I'm sure the Rebels will give me a hard time if they indeed get one. Here is Picard going to go deep in the end zone. Does he have a man? He does not. Oh, it's just dropped. Sebastian Lambert had it for a moment, but dropped it.
He didn't survive the contact. He had it, and then when he hit the ground, the ball popped out. If he had held on to it, obviously it would have been a touchdown. Really nice pass. Picard passed right over his shoulder where it had to be, and ball just slipped through the arms.
That was Ty Metcalf, not Sebastian Lambert, the intended receiver here, and it looks like we're going to be kicking a field goal here. So Marcus Jones, 2 for 3 on the season on field goal attempts. He's hit the uprights on his last one, which was about from this range a bit further back, maybe a 35 instead of a 25, as Marcus Jones puts it up and puts it through. Call it a field goal, tack 3 points on. For us here, we're going to call it 95-14, but the stadium is going to call it 97. So barring another field goal, we should crack the century mark with another score. However, we'll have to wait and see how it transpires here. We got 1 minute and 1 second left on the clock here, and obviously the Rebels have to kick this ball away and give it back to the Raiders.
I think if I'm the Raiders, I'm taking this ball. I'm going to kneel down, and I'm going to hand off and just let this clock go. Just get out of here, get changed, get showered up, and get back on the bus and then head back to the clubhouse. And for the Rebels, they can go into their change room and they can celebrate the win. Look forward to next week's game. And just, you can bask in the glory it is right now. The most points, or close to the most points a Rebel team has scored. Count off the top of my head, I'm not sure what that is. I thought it was 95, but if it is, then they've tied that. But yeah, then you look forward to next week. Just, another game. You get another team coming up, and just go make it happen.
So here we go, first down for the Raiders. Miscommunication in the backfield, and now the quarterback going to have to go for it, and a huge hit as Shamal Sterling laid the boom on Nico Hornyansky. And that is a monstrous hit. And it looks like Jaden Playfair is going to be back into this football game.
Now there's a, not sure what the penalty here. Timeout. Oh, they got was a blood timeout.
I'm not sure. There's some Raiders players going to the sideline.
Not sure what happened there, but
not sure either. But regardless, the clock is moving again. Jaden Playfair back into the football game here, as there's a run, and that's going to be a gain of, call it 2, maybe 3, as Favor Analike gets a couple yards, and that will bring up 3rd down. So it looks like the Rebels are going to get the football back here, but they're going to have to march because they're only going to have 30 seconds or so to do so.
Kind of surprised here, but the clock is running, so you might see one of those pooch punts here again.
Here we go, and indeed Jaden Playfair will kick this ball away as Franmi Akinlola is the returner back for the Rebels, as he's going to start down the left sideline, and he's got some room to work with as he's going to try and get past the defender. He'll get by one, and he'll be knocked out of bounds at the Raiders' 30-yard line. So 17.4 seconds, and the Rebels have to march 30 yards to crack 100.
Yeah, this is, again, not a bad return. There's been 4 different kick returners tonight for the Rebels, punt returners, and all of them have had good success. They've returned 2 punts for touchdowns, McClarty on one and Barry on the other. Got an injured Raider on the field here right now.
So just by my reading of the Rebels sideline here, it looks like they're gonna just kneel this one down. I don't know if they're gonna go for 100 here, just by all the offensive coordinators have their headsets off, so looks like the Rebels are gonna kneel this one down.
Yeah, you would think.
But let's wait and see. Let's not draw conclusions yet. But from what I can gather, everyone is bunched up there at the line of scrimmage, and it looks like the Rebels are just going to kneel this one down and take the win, as they probably should. Some disgruntled fans probably wanting them to go for it, but good sign of respect from the Rebels here to just kneel this one down with a few seconds left and run the clock.
Oh, absolutely. And as coaches, you know, they're going to shake hands and, you know, they're going to, hey, it's one of those games. You know, nobody's really trying to rub noses in it. It's just one of those games. Things worked for the Rebels. They didn't work for the Raiders.
So that is the final whistle, and the Westshore Rebels demolish the VI Raiders by a score of 95-14. What a offensive explosion by these Westshore Rebels. They keep their undefeated season alive. And Paul, what's your main takeaways from this ball game?
Well, the Rebels have a really good football team. They just get, if they stay the course, you know, and keep improving, allowing guys an opportunity to play, to build upon what they have success with. The sky's the limit, and like I said earlier, November 11th, there could be a Canadian Bowl here at West Starlight Stadium. For the Raiders, you know, it's another one of those games. They got a very, very young team. There's going to be these bumps along the road. Just get better. Do things that kind of work for you as you need them, and then improve and improve and improve, and then you start over again.
Couldn't have said it any better myself, Paul. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into this football game. For the whole Roll Focus crew team who worked on today's game, along with BC Football Hall of Famer Paul Short, alongside I'm Tyler Bennett. Thank you so much for tuning in to this football game. The Rebels are on the road in Kamloops next week before a bye week. We're back here at Starlight on October 7th as they welcome in the Langley Rams to Starlight Stadium. We hope to see you then. Until then, thank you for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.